Voltamos já aí, ó. Só da F5, tamo aí. Colocar a musiquinha aqui enquanto rola essa porra. Aliás, mano, você tinha que ver esse vídeo aqui, ó. Vou mostrar o vídeo da Porta dos Fundos aqui, ó. Atualizou aí, velho? Puta, esse vídeo é muito bom. É muito bom. Puta que pariu. Cadê o Sheldão? Dá um salve aí, Sheldão. Dá um salve aí que eu vou mostrar pra você esse vídeo aqui. É muito bom. Esse é um canal maravilhoso, velho. Porta dos Fundos. Quem não tem Porta dos Fundos não assiste. Tem que seguir lá, velho. É muito bom, mano. Dá pra vocês aqui, ó.
Gabriel Jesus, Neymar, Xande de Realengo. Muito obrigado a todos, boa tarde. Essa convocação...
Perdão, treinador. Esse último nome que você falou, qual foi?
Neymar.
Não, o último nome, treinador.
Gabriel Jesus?
Não, o outro, treinador.
Ah, o Xande de Realengo. É isso, gente. Muito obrigado a todos. Essa convocação...
Peraí. Quem é Xande de Realengo?
É um sujeito hilário, muito legal, que descontrai a rapaziada lá na concentração.
Mas peraí, qual time que ele joga?
Ele não joga.
Ele não tem time, é isso?
Eu acho que ele é Ponte Preta, né? Ponte Preta.
Desculpa, treinador, não tô entendendo direito. Ele é um torcedor da Ponte Preta, é isso?
Isso.
Mas ele não joga futebol, treinador?
Amigo, olha só, eu escalo 11 em campo. No máximo faço 3 substituições por jogo. Isso dá 14 se eu usar todo mundo, né? Cada jogo. Tô levando 23 nego, ou seja, tem um monte de viola que vai pra lá só pra passear, pra conhecer a Rússia. Então resolvi levar o Xande Realengo, que é um cara simpático e descontrai o ambiente, tá certo?
Mas ele vai entrar em campo, então?
Amigo, o Xande é mais gordo que você. Tem 72 anos, entendeu? Tô levando mais ele lá pra fazer o papel que ele sempre faz ali, que é de contar umas piadas no banco, de repente levar um pagode que ele ainda toca uma gogô legal, selecionar umas putas direita na Ucrânia pra concentração, é esse o papel do Xande.
Mas você conhece ele da onde?
Eu tô há muito tempo no futebol. O Xande de Realengo, pra quem não sabe, organizou as surubas clássicas de 2002 e de 94. Ou você acha que o Romário ficava jogando gamão com o Mazinho na concentração?
Desculpa, treinador, mas o Xande não vai estar tirando o espaço de algum jogador que poderia estar somando a seleção e ajudando no time pra ganhar o título?
Em 2002 teve Anderson Polga. O que o Anderson Polga fez? O Zete fez o quê em 94? Gilmar fez o quê em 94? Fez nada, entendeu? Aí tô levando o Xande que é pra dar aquela animada, sabe?
Entendi, mas você não vai estar causando um problema na equipe, levando um amigo seu pro time, em vez de levar um jogador profissional?
Qual é o teu nome?
É Benevides.
Tá convocado. Benevides. Saiu Tyson, entrou Benevides. Benevides, Sherlock Holmes. Aí pronto. Você faz a pergunta lá pra eles direto, tá certo? Assim tá bom? Assim escolhe até o número da camisa. Pô, pergunta pra cara pra CPI essa porra. Foi.
Olha o final, olha o final, olha o final, olha o final. Olha o final que da hora.
Boa tarde a todos. Convoquei essa coletiva aqui porque, infelizmente, a gente teve um contratempo. O nosso Xande Realengo teve um problema, uma hérnia aí que não abandona esse guerreiro. Então, pro lugar dele, tô convocando Ana Furtado. Pouca gente lembra, tá? Mas a Ana Furtado tá indo pra 6ª Copa do Mundo dela. Certo? Vamos que vamos.
Ai, meu Deus, é muito bom, velho. Esse vídeo é muito bom. Ana Furtado tá indo pra... pra 4ª ou 6ª Copa dela. Quero entender o que é Ana Furtado. Xande de Realengo. Qual que é o seu nome? Não, você tá convocado. Benevides, Sherlock Holmes. Você tá convocado também. Fiquei enchendo o saco, velho. Puta que pariu.
With NTC. Talk to me a little bit about that map.
Bom, me fala um pouco sobre esse primeiro mapa. Bom, para ser honesto, a gente não se preparou muito. A gente teve tempo aqui em Belo Horizonte, pouco tempo para se preparar. E na train, a gente olhou o que eles estavam fazendo e foi mais a gente se posicionar ali, colocar o Nof nos lugares certos. A gente estava se sentindo muito bem. Eu acho que a gente deu sorte de ler eles muito bem e trabalhar bem no nosso lado CT. Bom, tudo pareceu se alinhar para vocês e agora vamos falar sobre a miragem. Foi um pouquinho mais difícil. O que você achou que estava funcionando para eles?
Bom,
eles venceram a maioria dos rounds vistos na miragem.
Só vai entrar essa aqui quando vir ao vivo o MC. O que aconteceu com a americana que caiu do nada, cara? Só que o jogo não caiu lá. A americana não... 16 minutos, cara. Não sei se vai entrar a americana, não. Aí tem um outro esqueminha aqui de achar a live, peraí. Vou achar ela pra vocês. SK, pelo amor de Deus, SK, não vai ser eliminada agora, velho. No Brasil, desse jeito. Pelo amor de Jesus, SK. Eu acho que eles desligaram a live americana pra voltar e dar tempo, tá ligado? Pra continuar o game. Osso demais, velho. Joga com o nick de Benevides hoje. Muito bom.
Abre
né,
intervalo
velho?
e logo tem Gilzeira e Nicolino aqui trazendo as emoções da partida da SK.
Ah, não, eu adoro o Gil, velho. Eu adoro o Gil mesmo, cara. Mas, ô Gil, você é ótimo comentarista. Eu adoro você como coach, mas narrador não dá, não, velho. Narrador Gilzinho não dá, não, irmão. Pelo amor de Deus. Vai ter que ser na oficial. Deixa eu entrar no Facebook aqui da nossa querida ESL. Já deram follow na Twitch, seus cornos? Dá follow na Twitch aí, ó. Quem tá na Twitch, vai lá, manda a exclamação free skins e consegue pegar skins de graça assistindo a live. ESL, Pro League, não, esse aqui, ó. É tão desorganizado, cara, que você pesquisa, não tem nenhum bagulho oficial, tipo, certinho, tá ligado? Achei ela aqui, ó.
Ghost Gaming go up against SK.
é
We'll bring up the bracket to explain exactly what's happening here, but they could very well be eliminated. The elimination match, that's right, want 2 best of 3s and you can get sent home day 1.
Aqui, ó, isso tá mostrando
Ghost
da hora,
Gaming
guys.
and SK
Aqui, ó.
both conceded
Isso
in
é da
a
hora,
very rather
guys.
2-0 one-sided
Ó.
affair. Now, they
Base
have
Space
just one shot to
Soldiers,
keep
winner
themselves in
matches.
this match. They'll be playing the losers of course,
Ghost
FaZe
e
versus
SK
Space
Gaming
Soldiers as
decide
well.
agora.
When they get to it, should they survive this one. We're going to
Cara,
take a
tem
break.
mais
When we
game
come back, we'll
depois,
see if
parece.
SK
Mais
can
game
even make it
depois,
through day
hein?
1. Never mind, get to that arena.
Esse cara tem que ganhar mais um game ainda, velho. Beleza, chama a live oficial, que é melhor aqui. IBR os caras narram achando que é futebol, velho. Eu não curto muito, mano. Ah, mano, não curto muito deixar BR, porque BR grita muito, não dá pra você ouvir o jogo, cara. Tá ligado? Quem quiser assistir BR, cola lá no Facebook lá. Demorou? Sem qualquer preconceito de quem sair, não tem problema nenhum não, velho. Quem quiser assistir em inglês, vai lá, porque, mano, é muita gritaria. E aí, galerinha da Twitch? Caldão? Agora sim. Ó, falta aqui, vai começar daqui a 15 minutos. Vou mostrar o bagulho da Face City pra vocês. Tava perguntando pra mim aquela hora. Face Cityzinha. Seguinte. Vou abrir aqui a Face City. Se quiser adicionar, já adiciona agora na Face City. Não tem como agir pela HLTV? Então, caiu a live oficial pela HLTV, irmão. Caiu lá. Entendeu? Salve, meu querido. Tamo aqui, ó. Vou mostrar pra vocês a Face City que eu tava falando, que é bem legal. Pra quem não manja. Assim, já que eu vou jogar na live, eu sempre jogo na live, o que que eu faço? Eu uso meu tempo bem, velho. Então, eu jogo Face City porque é melhor que jogar MM. MM você vai se estressar e não vai ganhar nada. Se ganhar, ganha a partida e só. Ó, Face City. O que que é legal na Face City? Primeiro é de graça, tá? Você não paga nada. Se você pagar, se você quiser pagar, deixa eu aumentar um pouquinho, só pra saber quando começar a partida. Se você quiser pagar a Face City, você vai ter uns bônus, participar de uns campeonatos melhores, tudo mais, tal. Mas ó, olha o tanto de prêmio legal que tem. Ó, essa skin vale, esse passe vale 10 ou 12 reais da Hydra, velho. Bem legal. Ó, uma Decimator 5.000 pontos, tá vendo? Não é difícil pegar não, velho. 20.000 pontos você pega uma Rebelde, tem Hyper Beast por 18.000. Bem easy, na real. Tem itens de Dota, tem PC. Meu sonho era pegar uma PC, mas é 1 milhão de pontos esse PC aqui, 7. Nossa, fudido esse aqui, cara. Esse é outro mundo, esse PC. Tem várias coisas legais. Então assim, você ganha pontos assistindo minha live aí, pelo eSport Points, certo? Você ganha pontos assistindo minha live. E ganha também jogando comigo na Fácil. Pega lá 900 pontos. E aí, por exemplo, eu vou aceitar aqui quem mandou convite de amizade já. Canal no Bigô, Sheldão, a VRN. Quem quiser mandar na Steam é só exclamação Steam na Twitch lá, viu? Aí, por exemplo, como é que a gente acha a partida? Ó, vai ter esse campeonato aqui de Dota, de Fácil, por exemplo, daqui a 2 horas e 10 minutos. É X1. Ó, o primeiro lugar ganha 1.500 pontos, segundo 1.000. Do terceiro ao oitavo ganha pontuação. Tá vendo que legal? Aí, por exemplo, você quer jogar de CS, como é que funciona de CS? A gente monta uma PTzinha, aqui eu monto a PT, convido vocês na live, e a gente ativa o campeonato do dia. Por exemplo, do dia é esse aqui, ó. Termina daqui a 8 horas, esse é o do dia. Tá vendo, ó? Primeiro lugar ganha 2.000 pontos, o segundo ganha 1.000, o terceiro ganha 500. Tá? Aqui não é o time, aqui é individual, só que a gente joga como time, entendeu? Então o 3 do time vai se dar bem se a gente ganhar. Aí os caras já começaram aqui, mas os caras começaram já estão com 30 pontos. Eles vão continuar jogando, porque quando você perde ponto, entendeu? Se você ganha, sei lá, 12 a 16 pontos. Perdeu, você perde 12 a 16 pontos. Varia do nível do adversário. Anteontem eu terminei em quarto lugar aqui, porque eu perdi a última partida. Então você ativa aqui, ó, o dele, ativa o dele, pronto, ativou, e pronto, só jogar. Dá play aqui e jogou, suave. Bem easy, não é? Aí você ganha, mano. Se você quiser dar upgrade, tipo, prêmio, aí você tem uns campeonatos melhores, valendo 30.000 pontos, tá ligado? É bem da hora. Não tem estresse, eu jogo com 2 de ping, não tem, sabe? Cara enchendo o saco. Até os boludos da gente boa, cara. O que, ó, não sei se alguém joga Dota no chat. Alguém de vocês joga Dota? Mais fácil de achar Dota, de juntar ponto é Dota. Vou ensinar como é que pega campeonato de Dota, ó. Volta aqui, clica no game aqui, ó. Tem Overwatch, LoL, Team Forces, Rocket League, não sei o que vocês jogam. Ó, escolhe Dota, tem campeonatos, tá aqui, ó. Aqui do lado mostra 1v1 daqui a 2 horas, eu já tô nele. 1v1 daqui a 4 horas. 1v1 daqui a 8 horas. Esses 1v1 é tudo X1, tá ligado? Então, irmão, eu jogo X... Dota, só acha desse jeito aqui, ó. Faltando 1 hora pro campeonato, você vai ter que dar check-in, tá? Falta 1 hora pra esse tipo de campeonato, você tem que dar check-in. E tem campeonato de X5 de CS também, que eu posso participar com vocês também, guys. Pode fazer a PTzinha na live e jogar os campeonatos X5, que é eliminatório. É bracket igual o CSGO. Mesma coisa, escolhe o CSGO. Campeonatos aqui. Tá aqui, ó. Vai ter um versus o X5 aqui, ó, daqui a 1 hora. A gente monta a PT. Se o time ganhar, nosso time ganhar, a gente ganha 1.500 pontos. Pra todo mundo, né? Cada um ganha 1.500. Ou seja, um dia bom que a gente jogar 3 games bom, que é bracket. Tipo assim, oitavas, quartas, semifinal. Ou quartas, semifinal. Depende de quantas pessoas tem. Esse aqui que é 2.500 pontos, ó. Ó, primeiro lugar, 1.000 pontos pra todo mundo. Cada um ganha 1.000. Entendeu? E fera, mano. Vamos jogar hoje à noite. A live vai até meia-noite. O último jogo que eu vou transmitir vai ser esse DSK aqui agora. Depois eu vou pra ficar na minha live jogando aqui na Twitch. Aí eu fecho o YouTube e fica só na Twitch jogando, irmão. Entendeu? Vamos ver se o jogo voltou. Bem legal, né? 1 minuto pra voltar o jogo. E só pra fechar aqui, quem tá no YouTube aí, quem tá no YouTube e quiser vir pra Twitch, guys. Ó, tem esse site aqui, é o site que patrocina meu canal, tá? Ele é o eSport Points, é um novo site, lançou segunda-feira, patrocina eu como streamer e outros streamers também, tá tentando fechar com o Tecnosh, Skipinho, a galera. Você abre o site, tá? Lá na Twitch tem um link, no YouTube também tem um link na descrição. Você abre o site, vem aqui embaixo, ó, abre a live aqui e assiste. Por minuto você ganha pontos, tá ligado? Cada minuto você ganha pontos, junta os pontos, tá vendo? Tem um chat igualzinho, ó. Igualzinho. Ó, o IPzinho tá com 750 pontos no site já. Aí, ó, só clicar em streamers e assistir. Tem os pontos de graça, se você quiser chamar os amigos, tem free points, tem um monte de free points pra você pegar aqui, ó. Tem um monte, ó. Tem um monte de free points pra você pegar, tá vendo? E no marketing, por que é legal o marketing? Por causa do balanço do site, ó. Uma skin de CSGO, por exemplo, ó. Aqui, ó, vamos ver aqui, cadê? Uma Cyrix, 5.500 pontos. Uma Cyrix na Steam é 20 reais. Ou seja, 5.000 pontos, 20 reais. Vale a pena. Tá na descrição, tá? Vou mandar pra vocês aqui o link da Twitch. Tem um banner na minha Twitch, gigante na descrição na Twitch. É só você clicar lá e entrar, tá? Já dá follow aí. Dá follow na Twitch, sabe quando eu tô ao vivo, que eu fico ao vivo todo dia. Boa, Fábio. Boa, Fabrício. Bem-vindo, velho. Faço live todo dia, das 2 até a meia-noite. Então vocês vão juntar ponto pra caralho. Eu tô lendo mais o chat da Twitch, guys, que o YouTube é meio bagunçado, tá ligado? A galera tem uma galera que é meio mal educada. A Twitch o pessoal é mais gente boa, mais humilde, mais suave, tá ligado? Desculpa fazer essa crítica aí, mas o YouTube o pessoal é... Não sei se aqui entra muita kid, acho que não, porque tem muita kid que acompanha minha live, é de boa. Ó, quem joga Fortnite tem V-Bucks de graça. São 10 mil pontos aqui, só que você pega 1000 V-Bucks. 1000 V-Bucks. 1000. Então você compra o passe, você compra um monte de coisa. Mano, suave pra caralho. Fico nervosão. Ah, mas você nem vai ficar, velho. Nós joga suave, galera. Por de boa jogando. Olha a qualidade dessa transmissão, velho. Beleza? Alguma dúvida de como ganha pontos por minuto e troca por skins? Não, né? Joguei com o Tibúrcio, o CSR só pinava. Jogo agora, ó, da SK vai ser agora. Aí depois da SK, eu vou fechar a live no YouTube e vou ficar só na Twitch, tá, guys? Quem quiser assistir tem que vir pra Twitch. Vou ficar jogando com o pessoal do chat. Ficar fazendo PT, jogando junto. Aí a gente vê os jogos. Vai ser CS pra começar o campeonato e trocar skins no Faceit. Ou vai ser outro? O Rodrigo nem tá suando em Minas Gerais. O ar-condicionado tá forte, né, mano? SK vai ser agora, velho. SK vai ganhar agora, vai passar o carro, velho.
Yeah, so I was taking a look at this roster. I was trying to understand how long they'd played, and it turns out they've actually got 2 maps under their belt. They've played 2 maps and they lost both of them. So
e quais mapas eles picaram pra esse game, guys?
They have a chance to pick up their very first win as a roster today.
It's probably not going to happen.
Os mapas
I like
aqui.
the optimism and look, let's set the scene here in the sense of
não foi picado ainda na ESL, na HLTV, tá?
They don't know what to expect in terms of themselves because, like you said, they've only come together very recently. This all fell apart in the last week and a half for the top roster now Ghost Gaming. So if they can come out here and even put up a fight against SK, they've done themselves quite well.
I mean, it shows just how fresh this is. The fact that we just watched the
tá fora, né? A luz tá forte aqui. Também atrás é vários espelhos atrás, então, mano, bate muita luz aqui no quarto.
Have to be managed here, Maniac.
No, I think I agree with you. I mean, it's not really about do they have a chance to win against SK.
Eu não vi se apareceu, aqui na live não aparecem os follows de vocês, porque tava, é uma outra abertura. Deixa eu ver isso aqui, ó. Tá normal, deixa eu dar um refollow de alguém. Essa aqui que eu tô com a câmera aparece sim, follow na Twitch. Demorou, mano. Teste de novo, mano? Não, era replay. Não escolhi o mapa ainda não.
If we can just quickly surmise what's gone on for Ghost Gaming today, they played FaZe. Now, that's a pretty tall task to go up against, first of all, but they actually picked Overpass into FaZe. Now, sure, they've had troubles on that map recently. It hasn't been going for them as swimmingly as when they had Olaf on the roster. Sure, it was a weakness, but they got absolutely pummeled 16-4. Now, if you're going to pick that map against FaZe, I assume you have a game plan. Hard to have a game plan when they do have Chroman standing in, but the rest of the players are still doing
carregar de novo aqui, ó, overlay. Dá o que às vezes foi tanto follow que...
Just in terms of the firepower that Chroman can bring for the roster, then they went on to Dust 2 where they're able to put up a little bit
agora voltou aí, ó. Era tanto follow que tinha bugado.
Those are the only maps they played officially together on LAN.
Yep.
And they've pulled one of the top 3 or top 5 teams in the world, depending on how you do your rankings, Alex. So it's a very bleak
era muito follow, tinha bugado, foi muito follow
yes,
e bugou.
Indeed. I mean, we start talking about anything like the fact that, you know, you've gone, not only have you just gone up against FaZe, you now have your second chance versus SK Gaming.
Foi 300 follow aqui no bagulho,
I mean, it feels silly to say when there is 8 teams in this tournament, but you're going up against a very scary opposition as SK Gaming, despite perhaps a couple of foot faults and a couple of mistakes.
É que a tela que eu uso pro game é uma outra tela, tá ligado? Que assim não fica pitando follow. É uma outra tela, aí a tela que eu uso na live é essa. Eu apito follow. Diferente,
Yeah, there was that
agora vai pitar follow até amanhã.
In terms of identity crisis for these guys right now. And it's more than just learning how to play with Stewie and the roster and the kind of system that they want to bring into the game. I think it's in terms of their map picks as well. And that was even happening.
O Léo tá pedindo pra me explicar de novo a parada dos V-Bucks. É o seguinte, Léo. Vem na minha live na Twitch TV, tá? Na Twitch TV, você tem um banner gigante. Na descrição dessa live também tá o link, tá? Deixa eu mandar pra você. Esse link aqui, ó. Eu faço live todo dia, segunda a sexta, né? Final de semana é dia de tomar breja, né, velho? Sábado e domingo é de lei, é breja. Igual FNX. Ó, qual que é a pegada? Entra nesse link aí, você tem que fazer seu login pela Steam ou pela Twitch, tanto faz. E você vai assistir minha live da Twitch, né? Tem que dar follow na Twitch, óbvio, pra saber quando eu tô online. Vai assistir minha live da Twitch e vai ganhar pontos por minuto, tá? Aí vai juntar e trocar por skins. Lá tá marcando que é 10 mil pontos por V-Bucks, só que são 1000 V-Bucks. Vale pra caralho a pena. Dá pra você comprar o Battle Pass, sobra dinheiro. O Battle Pass é 500 pontos. 500 V-Bucks. Sobra 500 V-Bucks pra você comprar mais no Fortnite, cara. Então, muita coisa boa. Essa narrador tá brilhando mais que minha janela, velho. Entendeu? Como é que é? Aí é só você deixar aberta a live, assistir, conversar, porque como funciona o site? É um site que pegou o link da minha Twitch, colocou lá, linkou minha Twitch, tem um bate-papo certinho, igualzinho. Só vai ficar lá, trocando ideia, assistir por lá, jogar com nós e cada minuto você ganha. Se você souber como faz mineração, também tem mineração lá, entendeu? Aí você coloca na mineração e ganha mais pontos ainda. Mineração é 2.500 pontos por dia e na minha live é 1.000 pontos por dia, tá? Então aí dá pra você pegar bastante ponto. Por semana, eu garanto que você pega uma skin de pelo menos 15 reais lá. Garanto. Segunda a sexta na minha live, das 2 à meia-noite. Pique inferno, primeiro pique. Vamos ver o que eles estão falando aqui, guys. Vamos voltar pra live.
If you really look at the players on
Tirar
this team, the
dúvidas.
fact
Vamos
that
lá.
Fall and Cold Zero and
Começa
Stewie
agora,
can all-
Murilo. Vamos
You
lá,
could actually,
SK.
if you wanted to, run a triple or set up on Dust
Os
soon.
follows só
It's
aparecem
not
quando eu
something
tô
which
com a
I'd
web
be
aqui,
leaning
tá?
towards, but it's something that, you know,
Vamos lá.
when you get good spawns, you can be dropping the orb to do the long doors picks, lots of functionality in that terms, and then Train coming as a third. I think, yeah, look, if you were SK in the last 3 maps, you'd have been happy with any of them going up against Ghost.
Yeah, I was trying to work out what side they picked, but I guess they knife on the third, don't
On the third,
they?
yeah, they knife.
Okay, cool. So we'll have that worked out when we get there, if we get there. First off, though, we do venture back into Inferno. It sounds like they're almost ready, so I do want to just kind of... a couple of mistakes that need to be fixed from SK's last time we saw them venture into Inferno.
I don't even know if it needs to be fixed. The fact of the matter is their T side isn't going to be as weak. They are starting on the CT side, and that's where everybody was firing on more cylinders. Cold Zero isn't going to have to carry as hard on that T side, so I can see this being pretty convincing win for the likes of SK.
Yeah, same kind of thoughts from you, Maniac, as in SK can kind of coast into this first series.
It's not that they can, it's they have to. they actually have to just, you know, I don't even think they need like a very precise game plan.
It just has to be smooth.
Yeah, because of their individuality, because of their communication, their experience.
Só pra lembrar uma coisa pra vocês aqui, ó. Só pra lembrar uma coisa pra vocês que estão na minha live na Twitch aí. A galera da Twitch, que é subscribe, tem as metas embaixo. Quando bate as metas, a gente faz giveaway. Por exemplo, de mousepad, que nem tá aí. A da caneca, esse móvel que eu tava aqui agora e sumiu. Deixei na sala. Vai começar? Começou! Vamos lá, guys!
Well, thank you very much for that one, Alex. Yeah, we're going to be getting into this SK versus Ghost Gaming, and already Tom wasting no time. SK, they try to aggress down through Banana, but Ghost Gaming, they've been very, very quick here, pushing in towards the A-bomb site, and Fur in the pit. He's the first point of contact, the man to try and keep them at bay. A lot of pressure on him here, but he is standing up to it. Man advantage going to be cancelled out by him, still in the pit, still causing chaos. Fallen in a tricky spot, dispatches of steel, but is going to get dropped by Sabrosa, leaving Cold Zero in a 1v2.
Yeah, got to try and get his way back in towards the site. Kusta already sort of boosted up, and he's just going to be able to go for the peak, but Cold hits the shot anyway, leaves it on to just Sabrosa. Bomb going to be tapped, and it is ticking away. But he's not actually going to take himself that peak. He knows it's likely it'll be a 10-second defusal anyway, and Cold, he needs to take this fight now, and well, again, the time just ticking away. He's got to try and go for this defusal. It's not going to be happening. Does hit the headshot, but now just has to try and get into that corner and save himself the Kevlar.
That's going to be Ghost finding themselves the pissed around here, Tom. Which is always exciting. I think for SK, a lot of pressure now. They want to be playing in front of that home crowd. It's not something they have the chance to do all that often. Of course, if you think back to the last event we had over here in Brazil, that was the ESL Pro League Finals for Season 4. And, you know, they came second there.
Yeah, that's got to hurt.
Exactly, right? So this is their chance now to try and correct that and find a win. But finding themselves in the lower bracket on day one, you know, up for elimination, I don't think that's where they envision this going. So, force buy here for SK. Fallen's going to be taking a little peek down through mid.
Yeah, I think as well, this is one of those games that needs to be more of like a confidence builder, because even if they win and it's close, that's not going to be one of those like, oh, it's all right, guys, like, it all went well. This is a team that they should be beating, a team that's been sort of picked apart just by players actually leaving sort of very, very recently. So it's basically one of the weaker teams in the tournament anyway, and becoming more of a mix. So if SK can't like absolutely destroy Ghost, then when it comes to the likes of sort of Mouse Sports, even though they've got the stand-in, FaZe, similar fate, they're not going to be making the same sort of mistakes. They're not going to be giving the openings to SK that will be given to them here. So this should be a walk in the park. And if it's not, that's when you have to worry if you're an SK Gaming fan, which I imagine where we are right now. Well, actually, I don't need to imagine. I've seen outside the hotel. I know that there's a lot of fans here. Either way, walking into the site, T's have done themselves a decent job so far, losing one man, and bomb is going to be planted. Fallen looking to try and find something through the smoke, but no luck will fall his way. And while to get back into this site now, it's not going to be easy, although whenever I see Fur with an MP9, I do get a little bit excited. Unfortunately, it does look like he's just trying to save, and Wardell makes himself a nice little bit of cash. MP7, I think we're playing the old update, right? So it's not quite cheap, but he's just getting ready. He's getting ready. Or is it MP9 that's gone down?
No, MP7's gone down, Tom. $1,500 now instead of $1,700. You know, so he's trying to get ahead of the game.
Yeah. Fur's been ahead of the game for a while with the MP9, though.
Yeah, I've been a big fan of the MP9 for a very long time. But you can see Ghost Gaming, they're still hungry for blood, much like the mosquitoes that are plaguing me right now, Tom. Very nervous about that. I'm wearing, you know, just
those ridiculous bands.
An armada of anti-mosquito bands.
I'm actually quite disappointed we weren't put onto camera just so everybody can see how ridiculous
they
look.
I like them, Tom. I'm going to wear these even when I'm back in the UK.
Just for fun.
Well, you know, the UK is full of people trying to suck the life out of you, so maybe they'll come in handy there. But Ghost Gaming winning that second round. They keep 4 players alive as well, Tom. That's quite crucial. That's going to help establish this T-side economy early on. And you can see First save that MP9. That's all they really have to write home about here in this round for SK. He's got that inside of B, and it's going to be a 4-man stack here, leaving coldzera alone inside of that A-bomb site. They're not expecting to get too much done with just these USPs. But if they could find anything, that would be fantastic. Ghost Gaming, slowly but surely, over here toward the top of mid. Don't want to let this round get out of hand. It looks like if they continue on this path right now, Tom, they've made the right call, and they're just going to be able to topple coldzera, and then that should be the bomb going down. You imagine, yeah, SK going to start to rotate a few players over now. They might get there in time, so maybe something that could happen in this round, Tom.
Yeah, they are. Actually, the bomb is going to be spotted fairly easily. First still has his MP9, but I think by the time they actually get there, they should be around on towards the site. We're going to see a few gamble pushes coming through, and this is First chance, but Steel absolutely wrecks him. 3 kills for him already with the MAC-10, making a large amount of cash, getting ready for that first buy round. And I'm hoping that we'll just see Ghost go for quite a severe bonus round, especially in the sort of first buy rounds you can see on Inferno. There's going to be some limitations. Why not actually go for it? And what, Steel, are they gonna allow him to go for that ace? I kind of hope they are. It's an eco ace, but it's always a nice little confidence booster. And they're not. Wardell has ruined it.
You know, you can't let Steel get too confident.
Why not?
I don't know, Tom. I was kind of hoping you could run with that joke, but it wasn't even really a joke. It was just bad. Here's SK with their first buy. That's the important thing. That's what we need to be focusing on. As they'll be able to get rifles up into this round. No AWP for Fallen. The utility's pretty slim, all things considered, on the back of that force buy in the second round. We see teams now so often elect to leave that out, but it's going to be aggression down banana early on from Stewie. He is going to fall. Sabrosa able to find him early on. That's now a rifle that can be retrieved. Man advantage taken, and there's no utility left for SK already, and we're only 30 seconds into the round. We've got 2 flashbangs on coldzera, and that's going to be all they have. As this push comes in, Fur gets toppled inside of the bomb site, Steel with only a MAC-10 able to find that kill. This round looks like a bit of a disaster for SK. Remember, their life at this tournament is on the line here in this best of 3.
Yeah, this is quite scary. They've done a decent amount of damage, but obviously they're not going to try and fight this one back. They do have a kit onto Fallen, but definitely much more worthwhile to actually get themselves that save. Yeah, decent start for Ghost. You have to remember, this was a severe bonus round. They had like a MAC-10, UMP. They managed to retrieve a couple of rifles off the back of this, and they're going to go back into the next round with an even stronger buy and a huge amount of economy. So, yeah, this is an excellent start for Ghost. And, well, we're going to need to see SK bounce back fairly soon because you don't want to get... I feel like this is one of the teams where if you do give Ghost a decent amount of confidence, they are just going to roll with it. They know that, well, there's absolutely no pressure on them here. It's more of a mixed team that's just sort of been thrown together last second. So, yeah, like, if they start rolling, things could get a little bit scary.
It definitely could. SK, they're going to manage another bite. Scraping together what they can. SMG's out for both Fallen and Stewie. Meanwhile, for Ghost, it's yet another attempt really at one of these sort of bonus rounds. They carried 2 of the M4s forward from the previous. I'm going to be setting up over here towards apartments. Bolts and Cold Zera going to lie in wait. Furs are holding over here towards long. Ghost Gaming going to try and toy with the idea here of taking control of the top of mid. That flash forces Fur off the angle, so that could facilitate this play.
It is going to be the setup towards the A side. Lots of utility being lined up by the T side, and the CTs are a little bit better off when it comes to utility in this round, but it's Cold up above, trying to kick things off. Bolts within the graveyard as well. Pounces onto one, actually gets a second as well, still doing a lot of damage. A third for Bolts, but he is still the only person remaining on this side. And Kusta's managed to trade back a couple, leaving the SMG players, Fallen and Stewie, to try and get back in. But the fact is, they're not going this way. So Broza playing the game. He's going to be going all the way back round towards the B site, leaving Kusta here as a bit more of a fake. The CTs are still yet to realize, but that kill could be crucial. That will allow them to retrieve a rifle. Granted, the clock's against them, but Fallen does have himself a kit.
Yeah, they only just realized it's not the A bomb site though. Sabroz has gone all the way into CT. Surely there's no way that SK suspect this. Sabroz is going to catch the first, not the second. Stewie is able to trade. He's got to get his running shoes on, but there should still be time for the defusers. He arrives into the bomb site. You like the play, you like what Sabroza was trying to do. He caught Fallen, but wasn't ready for Stewie to be there knocking on his door as well. So SK, they're going to find their first round, Tom.
Yeah, the problem is, though, that only one player surviving, of course. They were already left with low money in the previous round, and Ghost have made a ludicrous amount of cash. Even that one was still somewhat a bit of a bonus round for them, as they had SMGs remaining. So I think most of the players were around that sort of 10,000 marker going into this round, and they could very easily reset Ghost, or reset SK, sorry, into this scenario. So we are going to have a chance for that now. AWP is on to Fallen. This is easily the best buy we've seen from SK so far. But it is crunch time because, well, you don't want to be allowing Ghost to get up to sort of 6-7 rounds and really kick this T side off strong.
Well, round number 6 is where we see the AWPs come out for either side. Kusta going to be flashing himself in over here towards apartments. They managed to take control of this area of the map, and now are they going to keep on aggressing? You still have Wardell with the AWP down there towards T-ramp. He can keep an eye on Fallen. They've left Fallen alone at B to play the anchor with that AWP. Fur tagged down low through the smoke, does answer back with a pretty meaty nade. 4 players inside of this A-bomb site now for SK. That's thanks to Fallen being the lone man down here towards B. Ghost to change their mind though. It's going to be a play up towards Banana. They have to try and get past Fallen. He does still have the smoke. Kusta's going to find Bolts in the meantime inside of the A-bomb site. So now it falls to Fallen to try and answer back, and there's a collateral from him. Still more players coming his way, but Fallen raring into action here.
Look at the clock as well. There's only 20 seconds left. They've got to make a decision quickly, and they're going to go off the back of Kusta actually making a play towards this A side. This really is just going to come down to literal seconds, and you have to wonder if it's even worth going for here. Wardell and Poyo have themselves quite a bit of utility, and really just going to run into the site and try and plant the bomb. That was never happening. Wardell will at least find one, but ultimately SK are going to have themselves another round, and is Wardell going to survive? It looks like he just about will. So 4-2. SK at least stop the straight reset. And actually the Ts do still have plenty of cash to buy back into this round anyway. So it's not like it's a huge problem for the T side. I do still think just maybe keeping that extra weapon could have been a little bit better. There was no way in hell they were getting that bomb down just off running in like that. But here we go. T side again, still in that chance to set SK's economy pack. And it's only Fur with any real cash in this scenario, as the rest has been invested into utility.
Oh. Wardell actually caught the smoke. As supposed to pop over here on Banana, and that's now meant that he's bested them to the angle. SK having to play this B-bomb site very, very passively. Ghost Game and all grouping up here. Stewie just waiting in CT. I don't think he's on the boost, so... Yeah, he's not up on that boost. So a smoke will nullify him. The Incendiary going to go down, but they go running on through it. Steal the first man in, and he's going to do damage on a Fall, and all it takes now is one of those nades to find this kill, and there it is. Kusta going to throw it in, but Stewie from the smoke going to reclaim one onto Sabrosa. Rotations coming through from the rest of SK. They boost up Fur, and now it's his time to shine. Wardell going to get caught in the crossfire. Poyo tries to answer back, and he is going to manage one. SK can't get too ahead of themselves here. They might have the man advantage, but Poyo playing through it as CT falls to Bolts, leaving it now on Akusta. Oh, Stewie and Smokes. That's a bit of an iconic duo there, Tom. As once again, second kill of the round is gifted to him, thanks to that $300 piece of utility.
Yeah, SK now have themselves some real footing, as they do get themselves a little bit of extra cash. Still the Ts. This really does show how much money they actually made over the first 4 rounds, that they are comfortably buying into this one with absolutely no problems at all. So, again, there's not going to be any break to the bombardment. Yeah, I think this was just a slight mistake. The gap in the smoke gives so much space over to Stewie, and, well, we've sort of spoken about, like, some problems with him fitting into this team. You give him too much space, he's just going to find those kills easily. There's no problem with him individually. But here we go. Double AWP setup in. Cold Zero will be picking up that secondary, and I think now we're going to see the confidence start to build for this CT side. Wardell tries to take the fight versus Fallen, who has been an anchor over towards this B site so far. However, Sabrosa will actually be able to trade things back. However, got to be careful of the flames, and Fallen going back for more. Actually takes his teammate down instead and gets another one, leaving just Kusta and Poyo left, both over towards this A site. Bomb already dropped. This is going to become very difficult for Ghost from here on out.
Yeah, Fallen's feeling something right now. You know, he doesn't want to leave. You know, I mean, I was going to say,
he's the daddy of Brazil.
He definitely is.
He's not going home. Well, I suppose he is technically home. It depends what you're classing. He does live in America, but he doesn't want to go back yet. I'm sure him, as many other teams, I think it was FaZe who actually said that they want to be winning this, but I feel like SK are going to be up there as well, thinking, you know what, we've got a real chance of actually taking this tournament.
Well, yeah, I mean, SK, you know, a team that's been in like a bit of a slump, still struggling on how to integrate Stewie, still having that identity crisis that we so often say. But, you know, you imagine if there was going to be an event that you'd want to see them come back at, it is going to be here in Brazil.
Well, yeah, and the other thing as well is, like, with FaZe, they got Croman standing in. Mouse Sports have nothing. Okay, maybe Fallen bit off a little bit more than he could chew there. Bullet to the face, and actually Kusta has a chance here. First, very low on HP. This round has just got a little bit interesting, as now the CT side have to rotate back in. Poyo will be making it to the site on time. This time, there isn't enough of a gap in that smoke to give anything over to the CT side. And they're actually going to be left into a 2v2 retake. Maybe, just maybe, they've overfaced a bit too much here, a 4v2.
Yeah, somehow this round might elude SK. Bolt's going to manage that frag on a Poyo. Now it's Kusta in a 1v2. Peeks on out, finds the first, goes for the spray transfer, but Bolt is able to get the trade, and that will be the defuse. SK, they're able to get a leash back on the beast as they find that 4th round. All equal now, all tied up. That gets a little bit too close for comfort though, Tom. I'm glad we get to see that. Like, when I saw that shot come through, I was amazed. I figured it was I don't even remember. It was Sabrosa stood next to Steele, and he just takes a bullet for his president. You know, what a guy. Runs through. Actually, he got shot through the wall. Wasn't trying to save him. He actually kind of got wrecked, but...
the wall tried to take a bullet. There you go.
I did. Just bullets go through things. 2018, what a time to be alive. 4-4, all tied up. And Fallen does indeed have the AWP back in hand.
Again, even though there's been a streak of 4 rounds, the T side is still buying, and they're going to be on the max loss bonus if they do manage to, well, continue their streak of 4. They've been getting the bomb down quite often, so the cash has still been there, and if they do it again, that'll be enough to buy. And the fact is, SK really haven't built up too much cash. Only one man surviving. They try for a little bit of aggression, and Stewie does do a decent amount of damage, but it's Wardell on the AWP, and he'll still be deadly as ever if he's given the opportunity. But now they're going to go for the sort of standard setup. Set that AWP over up towards Banana. A 4th player can then rotate over towards A and leave them in quite a bit more of a stack. And I feel like this is probably the man you want to be left alone. Fallen, just going to be sitting there looking to try and hold things down. He's done pretty well so far, especially since he's had that AWP. T-side are actually probing over towards this A side of the map. And with 4 men here, you have to think that SK should have this in the bag if they continue this push.
Steele's going to get forced forward. That Molotov isolates him from the rest of the pack, and he's the man with the bomb. He's also the first to go down, and that's the bomb dropped. A bit of a blunder for... Ooh. There's not normally a wall there. It's going to be... actually, Sabrosa to find it.
And they've actually got a lot of kills onto the site. It's only Cold remaining. His teammate will rotate in, but he does manage to turn it back at least into a 2 versus 2. Remembering Wardell is already low, and I doubt he wants to go peeking into that angle, trying to wait for his teammate to rotate back in. He has the bomb as well. It's still there from when Steele ran in earlier, and Cold just looking to try and shut this down alone. Hits the shot with the USP. 4 kills from Cold, 0, but you have to feel that shouldn't have been necessary. They were in a 4v4 at one point on the A site, and everybody dies except Cold.
I don't even know how he does that, Tom. He just has these moments of brilliance, does it, Cold, Zera?
I do. He's a beast. That's how he does it. We see it time and time again from this guy. But yeah, as said, I feel like that round, it shouldn't really have been necessary. Because when you're handed the bomb and you already have 4 players there, it shouldn't be coming that close. But we do have a tactical timeout. It's been 5 rounds in a row now for SK Gaming. And although some of them have been close, obviously Ghost, you feel like they had the opportunity to run away with this a little bit from the beginning of the game. But we have seen a few sort of heroic performances. Fallen stepping up, Cold in that round. And in this one, they are just going to go for the pistols. Now, it's worth noting that we are still on the old update. So although I don't know how much difference the CZ nerf is going to make.
I like it.
I like that it has been
Valve
nerfed.
didn't just like nuke it into the ground. You know, they did like a nice like little gradual like, yeah, we'll see how this goes. You know, they've really turned it around at Valve. CS, greatest game ever made. No one can challenge me on that. But someone does challenge him. It's Poyo, and actually, I don't know. I tried to come up with a chicken and the egg joke, and I just couldn't. But that doesn't matter. He's found a kill, and now there's a rifle to be retrieved over here. Kusta's going to be the man to pick that up. Steele trying to lead the charge over here towards Long. The smoke isolates Stewie. He's willing to take the fight with the MP9. 2 AWPs left up between Coldzera and Fallen. That's something to keep an eye on. So if the bomb does go down, they're going to have to try and work with both of them in the retake. Bolt's looking like he maybe wants to try and tempt the aggression over here towards Short. Starts to back away. Coldzera instead going to look to step up to the plate, and he's just going to miss the timing to have found 2 frags. It looks like they're going to try and go for the waterfall out here from apartments. Steele falls. The rest of the guys now come barreling out into the crosshair of Bolts and Coldzera, but Kusta's managed 2 kills, and now it is just Fallen and Stewie left alive to try and retake this. Kusta's picked up the AWP. He's got the bomb down, and there's still a chance here for Ghost.
Yeah, Kusta in the past has been a pretty mean AWP. He needs to turn around, and well, there is Stewie to just finish him off. The double AWP setup will remain for SK Gaming, and it has now been 6 rounds in a row for the Brazilian side. But the fact is, the T's will now have an abundance of cash going into the next round. But the fact is, I feel like now they have to break back. Because if it goes any further than this, I think this map will just fall the way we sort of expected it to. I do think it is worth saying that a lot of these rounds have not been like dominant. It's not been just SK running away with it. We've had a few like 1v1 rounds that could have gone either way, and some clutches needed from SK, so this definitely isn't a walk in the park. And as said, the T's now do have themselves a buyback on the board. Fallen and coldzera both with the AWP, which I feel like is something that Ghost really didn't want to happen. I think it just makes things so difficult to break either of these players down. Fur even going to start taking a bit more aggression over towards the B side of the map, so he's going to be able to take a bit of control. And I wonder, yeah, just again, they're going to set up Fallen and go back to that rotation on towards the A side.
Yeah, this is the standard, especially when you have someone as powerful as Fallen to harness that orb down towards B. coldzera sends them away for a mid. And still even to follow through with one more. They do manage to retrieve the bomb. That was the daring Sabrosa to run forward and find it, but in the meantime, they lose the Orpa Wardell down there towards Banana to Fallen. And yeah, just a slaughter over in mid. Poyo, 1v5. Can he find anything here? I don't think so. Not with, yeah, not with... Oh, coldzera did it.
Yeah, he ran all the way through the apps behind him and killed him.
coldzera didn't. He shot him through the wall, Tom. That was Bolts running through the... Yeah, that's why I was so confused. I was going to be like, nah, Bolts has got this, and then just coldzera shoots him through a wall, because why not?
Just cold things. Yeah, second tactical timeout already taken from Ghost, and yeah, this is starting to look a bit more like the game earlier.
I don't know. Admittedly, right? Ghost game, they win the pistol. They go to convert the next two. And then they win that first rifle round, right? That's where their 4 rounds come from right now. Since then, every single round has gone the way of SK on the back of these buys. So it would be nice to see Ghost game put up a bit more of a resurgence. But regardless, even if they lose every single round now, Tom, an 11-4 scoreline isn't the end of the world moving into that CT side.
I just feel, though, with it, a brand new team playing the CT side of Inferno against SK, like I just feel like it's going to be very, very difficult. I think just individually they should be enough to take it over the line.
But you say that, but then I'll be honest, SK's T side on this map has been a bit flimsy here and there since they brought Stewie in. So, you know, I just don't want to be writing Ghost Gaming off yet. I still think, you know, they have more to bring to the table. There has been a commanding performance early on there from Fallen and coldzera. This time it's Fur to open things up. Rosa tries to answer back, and he is going to manage one frag on a Stewie. Rotation comes through, and that leaves Fallen high and dry inside of the B-bomb site for the time being, all alone.
He's already tagged down. Rotation will come back in from Fur. Not wanting to leave this site open. Actually, the amount of damage they've done, the T's are just going to execute in towards this site. Running in first, Steel's managed to round the corner, but look at the amount of damage done by the nade from Fur. Already sprays down one, a second through the smoke as well. Wardell will do some damage back, but Fur is still surviving. Now they've taken control towards the spawn. You can see Steel has pushed through the smoke. The fact is, though, Fur may just catch him, knowing he's there. Actually hits his jump key. It takes a little bit longer, but he is going to end up getting himself the quad kill. SK take themselves an 8th. The string of rounds continues, and even now, the T side don't actually have that much cash to be able to purchase back up.
Yeah, the one thing that's pretty scary right now, I think, for Ghost is that earlier on today when we saw SK play, it was really only coldzera kind of stepping up to the mark in their game versus Space Soldiers. But right now, everyone here has showed up to the party. And I think, you know, a lot of that also not just going to come from the fact that Ghost are, like, you know, basically a mixed team right now, which is definitely going to help, but also this is like, you know, this is the elimination game for
either side.
Yeah, well, exactly. Sorry, my mind went blank, Tom. But yeah, you know, they want the chance to play in front of their home crowd. Of course, the event sold out. You know, we sold every single ticket, so that arena is going to be packed.
Were you outside?
Yeah, me
just
personally.
Like, guys, quick, buy your tickets.
Ever since I put out that Brazilian barbecue tweet, yeah, I became the brand ambassador for ESL out here in Brazil. Yeah, it was great. But here we go, pushing towards B. It's only these Glocks, Tom. And they're all going to get slaughtered. So SK up 9-4, but now there's money for Ghost Gaming to get another buy. They can get the AWP out for Wardell. And that will indeed be the case. He's been a major talking point over in NA. Promising young AWP. Always kind of ends up being the star of any roster that he's been in thus far. I mean, you know, when he was playing over at the Pro League, he was the guy we'd always talk about inside of this roster. Not showing that right now, but of course AWPing on the T side of Inferno infamously is one of the more difficult sides to AWP on.
I just love how happy he is in his picture. It makes me feel happier just looking at his picture, to be honest.
I'll get you one for your wallet. I'll get you a little Wardell.
Wouldn't that be great? Just every time I open my wallet, it's just a picture of him. Do you know what? I think that'd brighten up my day.
Be interesting, because everyone would be like, oh, Tom, who's that? Like, you know, is that like, yeah, I don't know, like your dad? You're like, no, that's Wardell.
Yeah.
No one knows, they wouldn't know who that is.
Oh, what do you mean? Everyone knows Wardell. They should do, with a smile like that. Either way, I think we should move on. Fallen's dead. We
definitely should. Look at this. Ooh. So Rosa just going to miss the timing. No, turns back around for Falls as a result. And we're actually going to lose bolts as well over here towards me. They're going to keep on aggressing coldzera. Now all that stands between Ghost Gaming and this A-bomb site. Stewie, meanwhile, in the back line, going to eliminate two. And coldzera, he's not ready to go down just yet. Finally falls at the hands of Poyo. You feel like in those situations he's on a tear. He's going to start stringing together frags, but it falls instead onto Stewie in a 1v1 retake.
Yeah, from a 5 versus 2 to this, Ghost Gaming may have just given away their opportunity, but Poyo still there and standing. Stewie does have himself a kit and an incendiary, and if that goes into the apartments, this is going to be very difficult for him to stop any sort of defusal. The problem is for Stewie, there's so many angles that he's left to clear, especially not having any clue where his opponent currently sits. And actually, is he going to throw that incendiary up there? That's the real question. He's worried that he's going to be coming in from behind. I think he just may have overthought this one. Now knows where his opponent is. Actually just going to go for the defusal, but here's Poyo coming. It won't matter. Hits the headshot anyway, and it will be 9-5. Ghosts finally get themselves back onto this board, and will have themselves a bye for the final round of the half, but the fact is, SK will as well. And considering they were 4-0 down, SK have done pretty well at just bringing this all the way back.
They most certainly have, Tom. They've strung together 9 rounds in a row since moving into the rifles. They lost the first one, and then if you remember, they saved up 3 guns, I believe it was, and then then they bought the SMGs in round number 4, and they've won every single round since. So they are feeling good. Last round of the half here, and a chance for Ghost to go 9-6, at which point I think that's pretty respectable. And I say every single round, of course, it's minus the previous, but aggression out towards top mid. coldzera flashed off the angle, and there's that first kill. Cold going to linger around that much more. Bolt still waiting in the back line here. Furs even down in alt mid. How's he managed to get to this position? He could deny these rotations. They're going to spot out Bolts. He lines up the first. The trade will come through from Steel, leaving now him and Sabrosa in the hot seat.
The funny thing there for Bolts, he actually hits the headshot without even knowing the Steel was there. So he's done a decent amount of damage. Bomb going down, but this is an impossible scenario. And Fur even going to peek out the apartment. So it will be only 1 round loss since the initial 4 for SK Gaming. So definitely looking like they're in the driver's seat here. We'll be pushing onto that T side. And although I think they've had some problems with their T side, I still think that this is just an impossible scenario for Ghost. This is such an important map when it comes to sort of rotations and calls, and having a couple of players who literally just sort of joined this roster, well, forced to join this roster because of what has happened previously. It's going to be one of those situations where if they do manage to pull something off here, I'm going to be very, very impressed, but I can't sit here and expect SK not to just walk away with this now.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, SK, impressive for them to turn it around. Of course, this is the map pick of Ghost, so being 10-5 on that scoreboard right now, they're going to be feeling pretty good heading into the second half, Tom, don't you think?
Yeah, next map's D2, though. It's the pug map. They'll be ready. This is where those sort of like NA teams that just come out of nowhere, they can win a map of Dust too. I'll believe in that. See if they can at least. But for now, they're looking for that second pistol. Kick them CT side off, build themselves up that economy early on. Because if SK take this one, this game should be dead to rights. There should be absolutely no way that Ghost come back into this. But by the looks of things, they're just going to go for a fast play straight up towards middle. Poyo may not be expected, but never mind. Stewie rounds the corner and takes his head clean off. Steel trying to hold on to the cross, but that hasn't worked out too well. There is a push coming down, but it seems like this is all just part of the script for SK Gaming, as they've read that fairly well. It's only the players up towards App and Short that make things a little bit more interesting. The bomb is going to be planted. Stewie takes down one of them, and Sabrosa has an awful lot left to do as Steel still running his little legs all the way back towards this A site.
Oh, nice shot on a Stewie. Still a 1v2. It's not going to be an easy feat. You do have Bolts over and apartments, and he's going to make things so hard here for Steel. He does have the kit. He has a flash as well, so there is still a chance, but time's ticking down low. He really has to get a move on. If he doesn't find one of these frags, this should be all said and done. And indeed, no one's peeking into him. Steel just backs away, looks to try and hold on to the kit into the next round. That's going to be SK finding themselves the pistol, and Steel didn't even get away with that. So that's the 11th now for SK, and a chance to go 13-5 up here on their T side.
Yeah, this is now a very, very difficult situation. Of course, we do still have the Super CZ Go in play, so there is still a chance. See, the thing is, if you're in this tournament, do you look to sort of reduce the amount you're using it already, or do you just go for one last hurrah of the Super CZ and just try and win the tournament based off that?
Yeah, I don't know if I would just like, well, you know, next time I
just
play,
like, no, maybe reduce it a bit.
Less.
Like, just be like, I want to get used to using a different. The thing is, I don't think that the nerf is going to make that much of a difference. It's still the sort of firing rate that really just wrecks everybody.
There's like, that's like the reason why people, you know, they, like whenever someone's like starting a diet, whatever, they have like a little like blowout day. That's what it is. You have like one last day of just like wrecking yourself, and it's the same with the CZ, Tom. You know, we've all done it. We've all eaten, you know, a whole, like 3 tubs of Ben & Jerry's, a pizza.
I have never eaten 3 tubs of Ben & Jerry's.
That's just me, though.
I would die.
I was a very, very fat child, so I still am. Here we go, though, Kusta. Ooh, that was a fat 1D with a PH.
I'm going to be pushing aggressively. Bolts is going to catch one back, and actually there's a push going all the way down mid from Wardell. This could catch Fallen completely off guard. Going to go for the long-range taps, and actually he's got to watch out because there are players coming in from behind him that probably isn't going to expect. Still does a decent amount of damage and brings a couple of these players low. The fact is, though, the only person on this A site at the moment is Poyo. May be able to catch one off guard, but never mind. Fur has eyes in the back of his head and will spin round and put this round at least to bed. Kusta managing to pick up a UMP, but realistically it shouldn't have too much effect going into the next round. Neither player with any Kevlar either, so we'll see. They're just going to save this or actually try and do a little bit of extra damage.
You can see Kusta was trying to back away, but he doesn't manage to survive. No one does for Ghost, and SK now 12-5. Ghost Gamers have to grit their teeth into this round. They can't really afford to put any investment up. See Wardell, he's saving for the AWP. Here's the extra cash for it, and the rest of the guys are going to be able to get some decent utility in the next round at least as a result of going cheaper in that second round. Looks like they're just going to stack over here towards B. Maybe a push down banana, or more likely, yeah, they have to flash for it. So Steel going to be throwing that in.
Oh, that's filthy. That's so much damage with the nade. It looked like he was just going to mow the rest of them down. Instead, Cold and Fallen will be there to just clean up the mess.
How much damage was done with that one nade?
About 200 odd damage. 220, I want to say.
Let me run the numbers for you real quick, Tom.
It was 280.
My good, well, no, 210 damage with that one grenade. 10. Oh, that is a meaty nade. But I'm kind of glad I saw a nade like that land in a game of this caliber, Tom, because it feels like it only ever happens to me in matchmaking, you know? Be playing some sick off angle, nade rains in, hit for 93, it's a great, love it. But
is that when you're playing Deagle only in a buy round?
You know me, Tom, you know me. You know, you got to be toxic. It's just the rules. But here's Kusta. He's gone through. They might have heard the Molotov tag him down, and he's found one. And the second, the UMP's done damage. He's dropped the bomb down by his feet. Looking desperately to try and retrieve one of these rifles. Fallen even going to get tagged up that much more down towards the base of Banana. That's by Steel. Kusta's managed to grab himself an AK. He's a real pest in the backline. The nade does come through and do damage onto the guys at the top of Banana. But for SK, they're still fighting to reclaim this bomb.
Stewie just got Stewied, basically, there. Just Kusta with low HP running through a Molotov and a smoke and managing to get 2 kills and survive. Not something he should be able to get away with. And yeah, this has just become a retrieval mission for SK Gaming, but they have managed to pick themselves up a first. Now we're going to see another burnt out position, so this round definitely isn't over just yet. Clock is ticking. The CT side's still a little bit wary, and I'm liking the position of Sub Rosa as well, just taking control down towards that second mid, but how Fur just managed to get all the way around the back. He's got past a couple of players. Subrosa's still lurking in the backlines. The problem is he needs to stop them getting towards his side, and that's exactly what he does. He drops the bomb, leaves it onto Fur, lines up the first and the second as well. Never mind. The hope is gone. 14-5. CT side will be struggling to get a buy together here. And even with the heroics of Kusta, it wasn't enough to finish Fur.
And that's going to be so gut-wrenching. Now they've gone for the full-on artillery buy, Tom. They've partial bought around the money they had. They have utility on everyone else. They're really looking to try and throw this nade stack somewhere, find damage early on. And ooh, coldzera is fully blind. And how has he managed 3? coldzera, what a man. The trade comes through. Of course, you know, they're not eco. They were force bought, and he was fully blind. So I'd say that's pretty impressive. It is just Poyo left alive in a 1v4. Don't want to write him off. You shouldn't count your chickens before they hatch. Here he is. Oh. Okay, I think.
Ooh. That was pretty nice.
Yeah, but everyone's hunting him. So
okay.
Oh,
let's not get a little. Okay, never mind. Bolts. Yeah. Just going to use utility to finish him off. Not going to face him again.
Maybe we should stop peeking him now, guys. Just throw the nade in.
There we go. The last ditch effort. Of course, this is the map choice of Ghost Gaming.
Look at this. This is amazing. He doesn't see anyone, and he gets hit by like 4 nades.
To be fair, he saw the first 2, but he was blind when he killed them. He was blind after he saw them. But the third player, that was just a complete spray control. I don't think I could do that with 100 attempts.
Well, Tom, there's a reason why he's the one playing right now. But here we go. Nade into Fur early on. Kusta actually going to take some damage as well in the exchange. Not sure where that was. I believe that was over on Banana. Odell finally with that AWP in hand over on the CT side. He's been hungering for this for a while now. He's picked up the man advantage, but they need 10 rounds consecutively here, which is not an easy task at the best of times, especially not versus an SK that's trying to dodge elimination here on home soil. These guys, they're going to be driven and determined. And they want to stick around a little bit longer. Get to play in front of that arena that is sold out.
What was it, 15,000
tickets sold?
I was going to say Brazilian fans, but
all
that too.
There's, I mean, I think there's more fans than that, Tom.
Yeah, no, but in the building, through the wall, Fallen actually does some damage onto Poyo. There's quite a few low players here, but it doesn't seem to matter. They're going to spray it down a couple bolts, trying to turn the tide. We'll be throwing out a little bit of utility, and Stewie is now all that remains. Has himself the bomb, but Wardell will shut him down. A triple for him with that AWP. Does step up into this one. And actually now the T's, well, there's a little bit of a disjointment in their cash flow, but there will be enough to get themselves a buy nonetheless. Cold, I imagine, will be juggled over a rifle, and yeah, not too many problems here. Of course, we don't really need to talk too much about the CT side economy here because they are buying no matter what happens. Well, up until the point where they lose the map.
Yeah, but for Ghost Gaming, the path to a comeback is a long and perilous one, and they've started to embark on that journey. Wardell looks to be the man to piggyback them there, but he misses that opening shot. He would have loved to have found that. Means that Fur does manage to get by.
T-side. Need to be a little bit more patient, but look at Kusta again. He's going to run all the way down to the bottom of Banana. Wardell will find Fur. The thing is, though, this Molotov, that's going to be a problem. And again, Kusta is just going to be caught by utility. Second time that he's been, well, basically killed by a grenade. And this is actually going to cause an aggressive push to come in. Stewie's still looking to try and lead this charge in towards the site. Wardell is slowly rotating in, but Steel is left completely blind now as the push now continues. He can't see a thing. That'll be an easy entry for Stewie, and Wardell tries to make a hero play through the smoke, but it's looking like this may be dead and buried. As a bomb will be going down, a long rotation back. That's a sketchy battle to say the least, but Bolts will win it. Now Poyo has to try and win a 1v4. It wasn't going to happen. SK, after losing 4 rounds at the beginning, then only lose 2 for the remainder of the game. Dominating performance in the end. And now they go on to their map choice of Dust 2. This is going to be very, very difficult indeed.
Yeah, indeed, Tom. I mean, what a performance from SK there. Everyone showing up on the board. And for Ghost, that's pretty gut-wrenching, that, as you said, their map pick. Heading through to Dust 2, the battle is going to get that much harder. And I think it's safe to say, if there's one event where SK don't want to go home this early, it's going to be the one in Brazil.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I think, you know, promising stuff there from the SK squad. Everyone showing up in spades. It was a commanding performance from Boltz, Cold, Zera, and Fur. Fallen had a very, very good start to the game, but then, you know, kind of started to fall off a little bit towards the end. But, yeah, all in all, that is going to be SK winning this first map.
Valeu por avisar. Tinha mutado aqui, tá eu falando aqui. Falei que a gente tá discutindo aqui na Twitch onde que vai ser mesmo a BBR. Se é longe, não é longe, o que que tem, se não é fácil chegar, quem mora em São Paulo. Quem é que vai? Quem é que vai na lançamento da MIBR? Quem que vai ser a MIBR? Que a gente tá discutindo na Twitch aqui. E ó, a SK, velho, a SK tem que ganhar esse game. Tem que ganhar. Depois desse game tem outro game, tá? Pra continuar viva no campeonato. Não é tipo, ganhou esse game, tá vivo. Pode ser eliminada hoje ainda, tá? SK e Ghost vai ter mais um game ainda. Nossa, tá tendo campeonato na Ásia também. Nossa, Navi versus Envious. Que jogão legal, ó. Amanhã de manhã, guys, vai ter Big versus Não Tem Como, tá? Amanhã, 11 horas da manhã aqui na live. Já saiu os horários aqui, ó. Vou passar pra vocês aqui, ó. Vamos dar uma olhada. Ó. Amanhã, 11 horas da manhã. 11 horas da manhã amanhã. Big e Não Tem Como, tá? 11 da manhã. Que mais? Só saiu isso. A SK vai ter que jogar hoje ainda porque a Não Tem Como joga amanhã 2 games, né? Joga o primeiro e depois o outro. Se for hoje da SK, se for em seguida, a gente assiste em seguida também o próximo, que o intervalo tá sendo rápido. Ó, o Kimid me passou aqui. Mano, vai ser no Transamérica Expo Center, não no Expo Center Norte. Retorno da BBR, ali na ZS, Santo Amaro, é perto do terminal Santo Amaro pra quem for, tá? Quem for encher o coco lá. Então amanhã, Big e Não Tem Como, 11 horas da manhã. E SK e Ghost. Vê se já colocaram aqui, ó. Não Tem Como e Big, que vai jogar 2 games amanhã. Colocaram o resto ainda, só SK e Ghost. Caralho, a HLTV já foi melhor, hein, velho. Eu colocava aqui antes, ó, a premiação, quanto vai ser pra cada. Se a SK ganhar hoje, só dia 15? Não. Como é que ela vai já pro dia 15 com uma vitória e uma derrota? Dia 15 quem tá é a Mouse Sports já, eu acho, não? Tem que ser 2 vitórias, não é? Pra você já pro dia 15? É isso? Vai uma vitória pro dia 15. Mano, as regras do ESL é sempre uma bosta, velho. Por que não pega o padrão que faz no Major, o padrão que faz em tudo, tá ligado? Sempre é confuso, velho. Dia 15 vai ser a decisão do match game e decisão do match B, é isso, né? É isso mesmo, ó, o Sunny tá me falando. Amanhã, é dia 15, amanhã vai ser Não Tem Como e Big, FaZe, Space, Liquid e Mouse Sports. Aí SK e Ghost vai ficar, SK e Ghost vai ficar esperando o decisão do grupo A. É isso, né, guys? E grupo B vai ser Não Tem Como Big, FaZe, Space, Liquid e Mouse Sports. Quem perder aqui. Na real, né, uma vai ser Não Tem Como e Big, né? Então não tem como ganhar, espera aqui o perdedor de Liquid e Mouse Sports. É isso, né? Cassiano falou, é isso mesmo. Cassiano falou que é isso mesmo, falou que quem já ganhou já tá na semi, então ou seja. Não é nem na semi, né? Quem já ganhou na real. Não é semi, meio que quartas, porque vai jogar Liquid de Mouse e FaZe Space. A Mouse tem que ganhar uma, a FaZe ganhar uma, aí vai pra semi. Aí a FaZe vai fazer a cabeça de chave de uma semi e a Mouse de outro. Eu entendi isso, foi isso que vocês entenderam na Twitch também? Entenderam no YouTube? Foi isso mesmo? Né? Pega o formato do Major, velho. Feijão com arroz, bonito. Piso do Major, sabe? Consagrado, dá umas caixas pra nós também. Põe aí pra sortear caixa pra nós. Não, relaxa, Cassiano. Falou besteira não. Tô tentando entender também. Você errou, eu também errei. Nós estamos certos os dois juntos aqui. É isso mesmo. O SK tem que ganhar hoje. Hoje o último game é esse da SK. E amanhã às 11 tem... Não tem como aqui no canal, beleza? Ao vivo no YouTube e na Twitch. E depois desse game SK, vamos jogar Fácil com quem tá na Twitch lá. Quem tiver no YouTube, quiser ir pra Twitch assistir, vai pra Twitch assistir, beleza? Vamos já começar o segundo game da SK aí. KD2. É que eles falam assim, ESL aqui no Brasil, mas ao mesmo tempo é aquela... Já tá de Nova York, que os caras dão muito mais importância. Pô, se for fazer um bagulho nas coxas que nem esse aqui, cara, tá ligado? Faz, mano, faz um bagulho melhorzinho, velho. Olha a live inglesa dando pau de novo, olha a live inglesa dando pau de novo. Tipo, fazer bagulho no Facebook também, né, mano? É, tem o camp na Ásia, que deve ser um... Vamos ver a premiação do camp na Ásia, velho? Quanto atualiza isso aqui? Quanto que é o camp na Ásia? A Navi tá jogando, vamos ver quanto que tá. É, 100 mil dólares a mais, né? 300 mil vezes 3,5, que é no mínimo que o dólar tá, velho, dá quase R$1 milhão a premiação, né, guys? Então... Olha lá, transmissão no Facebook, que delícia, como é que é? Olha que delícia. Falando que é uma delícia. Bora jogar, depois do jogo da SK nós vamos jogar, velho. Pode ficar tranquilo. Eu tô aqui. Fala, Biel! Suave, mano. Bem-vindo, tio. A gente joga na Fácil, Guerreiro Mulo. Já faz sua conta na Fácil aí. O link tá na descrição aí.
Belo Horizonte is brought to you in part by Intel, Alienware, DHL, Logitech G, Betway, and PaySafeCard.
Frag the most, and SK Gaming will take the first here in our elimination game. Just one map away now from the first team being eliminated here at ESL 1. It is looking scary. SK Gaming now heading into their domain. I'm joined by Sponge and Maniac to break down exactly what went wrong for the Canadian side. I have to say Canadian. There's 3 Canadians, 2 North Americans.
Joga Fácil, irmãozinho. Tá na descrição da live aqui, ó, na Twitch, tem embaixo aí. Só clicar no link escrito Fácil, clicar, vai lá no banner e faz sua conta. É tipo um AGC. Deixa eu mostrar rapidão como é que é pra vocês, antes de começar o game. Ó. É tipo um AGC, só que muito melhor. Muito melhor. Primeiro que você não paga. Você só paga se quiser, tá ligado? Você ser VIP. Vai ter vários bônus, vai ter metas diárias e tudo mais. Ó. O que acontece? Vou mostrar os prêmios primeiro, que o nego sempre quer ver prêmio pra ver se vale a pena. Olha esses prêmios. Processador Ryzen, isso aqui só para os Estados Unidos e NA. Beleza, não tem problema. Tem skin de CSGO, guys. Pra caralho mesmo. Todo tipo de skin. Tem PC, tem headset, tem desconto em ingresso de campeonato de CS. Tá ligado? Tipo ECS e tudo mais. Tem muita coisa legal. Muita coisa legal. Só fazer sua conta e me adicionar como canal no Bigol. Aí como é que você ganha pontos aqui, ó? Tem campeonato de X1 de Dota, que eu já me inscrevi aqui, ó. Daqui a 1 hora e 7 minutos vocês vão assistir eu jogando X1 de Dota na live, tentar ganhar, tá? Começou lá o game? Não. Ó, aí o primeiro lugar ganha 1.500 pontos, segundo 1.000, tal, 500, tal. Eu tô com 1.300 pontos. Eu comecei essa semana, viu? Ontem eu nem joguei Fácil, ontem eu só joguei Fortnite e PUBG. Tô com 1.300 pontos. Ou seja, mais 200 pontos eu pego uma skin, mas vou juntar. Minha meta é juntar o mês inteiro, 17 dias jogando com vocês, CS, Dota e tudo mais. e trocar lá no final. Tipo, pegar uma skin de 20, 30 dólares, tá ligado? É a meta do mês, todo mundo vai fazer isso. Eu me inscrevi nas 2 copas do Dota X1, certo? E aí, do CS, como é que funciona o CS? Ó, você vem aqui no CS, campeonatos, tem campeonato de X5, que a gente pode fazer a PT e jogar, tá? E eu já joguei essa semana, Real Royale. Achei legal, mas o Fortnite é melhor que ele ainda. Os dois é de graça, né? Então. Tá mostrando melhores momentos ainda. Aí do CS, como é que funciona? Ó, você clica em Play, clica em CSGO aqui, você vai ativar o campeonato do dia, tá vendo? Ativou o campeonato do dia, a gente faz nossa PT aqui e joga. Aí campeonato do dia tem todo dia. Primeiro lugar ganha 2.000 pontos, segundo ganha 1.000, terceiro 500, tá? Aí aqui nós monta a PT e joga. Aí é individual. Quanto tempo demora o X5 do CS? É o tempo normal. E anti-cheater aqui também. O anti-cheater tá aqui, ó. Você baixa esse app deles. Volta. O anti-cheater tá aqui no cantinho, ó. Hoje eu vou começar com o CSGO, Dark. Ontem eu comecei com Fortnite e PUBG. Fiquei pra caralho jogando Fortnite e PUBG. Hoje eu começo com o CSGO. É bem legal, velho. Só adicionar canal no Bigo aí, ó. Bem suave, cara. Juntar pontos aqui. Tem várias copas que dá pra gente fazer junto. Ontem ganhamos 6 no Fortnite. Chegamos 4 em segundo e acho que 6 em terceiro com o squad do time aqui da live. Daqui 1 a 1. Não, mano, só me adicionar que eu chamo. Só me adicionar aqui, ó. A Steam é essa aí e na... Quem tá no YouTube, minha Steam tá na Twitch, tá? É só escrever Steam lá. E na Faceit é canal do Bigol. Faceit é de graça, Faceit é de graça. Free. Frisão. Agora, quando você paga, tipo, o VIP, tipo uma GC por mês lá, você joga campeonato de 30.000 pontos. Aí já... Entendeu? Tem uns bagulho diário e tal. Já mandaram convite de amizade, deixa eu aceitar. Outra coisa, vocês viram... Eu mostrei pra uma galera já. O resto viu, né? A nova Steam. Tem uma nova Steam, né? Vocês estão ligados, né? Lançou a interface nova da Steam. Eu ia gravar pro canal, mas nem vou mais gravar. Eu tô falando ao vivo já. Lançou a nova Steam. Vocês estão ligados, né, pessoal do YouTube? Nova Steam tá aqui, ó. Vou mostrar pra vocês, ó. Aqui, ó. Essa é a nova Steam, ó. O que mudou, Fio, nessa nossa nova Steam? Aceitar o convite da galera aqui, ó. Mudou o bate-papo da Steam, guys. Ó. Aceitar aqui a galera que mandou convite de amizade. Ó. O bate-papo da Steam agora é diferente, tá vendo, ó? Da hora. Você consegue salvar os seus favoritos aqui em cima, ó. Quem você quiser. Você consegue montar a conversa e aí ligar pra pessoa se você quiser, ó. Tá vendo? Adiciona amigos aqui, monta a conversa. Você consegue mandar imagem, né, pros seus amigos. E aí, Cacildeira, bem-vindo, irmão. Você consegue mandar muita coisa nova e legal, cara. Mandar anexo na Steam, achei que nunca ia ter esse dia. Você consegue ligar pra pessoa também, né? Eu não tô conseguindo ligar porque eu tô usando meu microfone aqui, né? Só consegue ligar quem tá usando a Steam, tá? Dá pra ver o placar, com quem ela tá jogando, ó. Por exemplo, ó. Júnior tá jogando Mirage 10 a 15. Legal pra caralho, né? Essa é a atualização nova da Steam, só que ela tá em beta, só consegue usar quem ativar o beta, tá? Ela vai chegar esse mês pra Steam. E a do Counter-Strike, a conversa se chega esse mês também. Bem legal, velho. Adorei. Pra você ativar ela, basta você vir aqui em cima, ó. Configurações. Alterar. E Steam Beta Update. Vai fechar e vai atualizar. Beleza? Bem facinho, guys. Mudou os grupos também. Bem legal. Eu curti pra caralho. Achei bem interessante, na real. Ó. Abre tudo numa janela só. Nossa, muito bom. Só mudou o chat e alguns background aqui na questão de amigos, do teu perfil mesmo, tá ligado? Background do teu perfil e tal. Mas só de mudar o chat melhorou pra caralho, porque o chat era muito antigo, velho. Pô, não dá pra mudar uma imagem. Não dá pra dava pra ligar de chamada de voz, mas não desse jeito. Fazer um bagulho mais bem feito, né? Putz, não consegui entrar nessa mão de jogar no Esport Points. É só você abrir o Esport Points, irmão. Só abrir o Esport Points que vai. E live NA, ó, live NA, daquele jeito. Daquele jeito. Minha qualidade pra ver se ela não trava. Aí depois eu atualizo. Voltar pra live NA aqui, ó. E vamos pro game. Ainda não voltou não, velho. Voltar agora, na real, né? Agora é a hora, ó. 0x0, vai voltar agora. Voltou o pisto agora, vamos lá.
Yeah, so I'm actually looking forward to this. To see what SK can do, see what they have in the bag here, and already doing a decent amount of damage. Stewie going to be looking to lead the charge towards that A site, but again, it's just sort of the same as what we saw when the map was out previously. A lot of it revolves around this mid control, trying to find some sort of opening pick, and then normally splitting towards either of the sites, but straight down middle they go.
Look at Steele. He's gone all the way through long doors. He's behind everyone. He could end this entire round right now.
Oh, maybe not. Well, he's found one. They've finally realized what or where he is, and actually first going to continue to push into middle. The problem is they're losing players left, right, and center. They need to get rid of Steele, and that's exactly what Stewie does. So he had the opportunity. Unfortunately, just the duck down from Cold sort of ruined that for him. 35 seconds left on the clock, and the T still yet to really dedicate themselves to either of the sites. They need to split these CT players apart. The fact is, though, Poyo is left alone over towards A, and that looks like where they're going. He only has 15 HP as well, so even a stray bullet could be enough to take him down. He's looking to try and just hide and bait out this clock, which really is beginning to tick low. They really need to get on towards this side. He's already managed to find a first, still just surviving, and it gets the second as well. Poyo has probably done enough here. Stewie doesn't have time to get on towards the bomb and just going to go for a knife. Will at least get himself an extra kill and some extra money, but that's incredible from Poyo. Staying alive, two players pushing him, a lovely couple of one-taps, and again, it's going to be that first pistol going the way of Ghost.
It's really good as well that Stewie's able to get the knife there because, you know, I mean, had he not got the knife... Oh,
there's nobody there.
There is no one on that desk. But there's people on this desk, Tom. This is the positive desk. But like I say, good he gets the knife kill there because he doesn't die after the timer, so he doesn't get that loss bonus. So luckily enough, the knife kill actually pads that out. So he's able to hold on to the armor now heading into this round, and now he's got a scout to go with it. It's actually quite nice, you know, mathematics fans around the world rejoice because the kill combined with the knife that he did get actually adds up to the exact loss bonus. So. Actually, no, a little bit more. What I'm on about, Tom. What I'm on about. Never mind.
The knife alone
is
worth more than the loss bonus.
It is. It is. I was for some reason thinking they've lost 2 rounds. I was like, well,
Maths is hard.
Just wrong. But here's Sabrosa.
Yeah, they've actually managed already to retrieve a rifle, and there's a hell of a lot of utility in at the moment for SK Gaming, considering this is a second round buy. Normally, you see a lot more just in terms of pistols and Kevlar, an attempted faster push, but clearly they have some sort of game plan here, going to try and just force these players off of the site. The rifle actually comes into play as Wardell's now going to go down, and, well, we were talking about the importance of winning the previous round. They're going to want to try and win these follow-ups because you don't want to give an early way back into this already for SK. Again, we saw it in Inferno when they got rolling. There was no stopping them. They only lost 1 round after the initial 4 over on that CT side. Sabrosa trying to round the corner, but bolts again. A 3rd kill for him. He's doing great in this series so far. I believe he top-fragged in the previous. He's looking to do more here. Gets it down to just 1, and it's all left on to Poyo again. 1 versus 2. This time with a little bit of extra HP. Does have a kit, does have himself Kevlar as well, and Stewie's actually going to be going down. It's left all onto Cold. The thing is, will he expect the second player to be in exactly the same spot? And the fact is, I think at this point, it probably doesn't matter. He'll hit himself the kill, but the fact is, that bomb is going to explode.
Yeah, Poyo just caught in that game of chicken over the wide shot with Cold Zera. And as you say, Tom, it's Bolts right now lighting up the score, but it was him who topped the charts over on Inferno, going 23-11. And now he's leading the way early on Dust 2 as well. Also, Tom, was that a mosquito that just went near you?
No, I was just waving.
Okay. Well, no, because
no one in the room.
Notice how they haven't come near me with my anti-mosquito wristbands.
Oh, have you got a? You need a headband as well.
I mean, maybe they make them. I don't know. I didn't look.
Just tie a few of the wristbands together and tie it around your head.
That's a very good idea, Tom. Yes, an
and then
entrepreneurial
you'll look
brain.
even more ridiculous than you already do.
Thank you. I like to be different.
Different isn't always good.
That's probably right.
Well, CT side,
yeah, I was
they
going to say.
forced.
Here's Steele. He, I don't know. He's going to try and be different, maybe, as he plays short with the Deeg. Does do damage. Going to have to fall off the angle back into the bomb site with Wardell and Poyo to back him up. And SK, once again, it's a slow offensive down in towards mid. They have control of this area right now, but it does like Poyo and Steele both accruing over here towards short. They look like they want to try and go for a peek, but that nade's going to do some good damage. Boosting up Poyo. He's going to look to try and peek over the top of the short boxes.
This is sort of the smarter play, really, from SK. They've got themselves the rifles. They'll have a big advantage when it comes towards long. If they can get rid of Wardell, the range game really goes to bed, really, for Ghost Gaming. They've got themselves SMGs in the majority. And, well, Stewie, there goes the rotators as well. This has become very difficult indeed. Wardell is already looking to try and hold this down. And, oh, God, there's 15 seconds left and looks like the server's died. Hopefully it's just GoTV and the players are able to play on at least.
Yeah, hopefully, but everyone has stopped touching the keyboards, and so it would appear, Tom, maybe there is a slight technical issue that's just being resolved.
Yeah.
You know you're doing well as SK. When killing Ghost Gaming isn't enough, you also kill the server.
But the thing is that you don't like the clock was actually ticking fairly low, so it's like, if they hit a couple more shots there, they could have still won themselves the round. So it's a little bit of a problem in terms of like the decision making here. I suppose damage has already been done to both sides. So I guess
I love you know, I don't even know the rules enough to talk about them, Tom. You know, I don't even want to try and theorize what decision we made there. What I will say is I love the color scheme of these mouse mats and the keyboards. So as you go along, you see what I mean? Never mind. Well, you know, you probably saw it. They don't have that sort of shape. What do you think of the jerseys for Ghost, Tom? You like them? You a fan?
It's kind of, the line through the middle is kind of weird. It's like they're making it more difficult to read.
Oh, you're just critiquing the logo. I mean the whole, because I prefer the SK jersey. Look at that, man. It's sleek, it's grey, and black, and white. Those are three of my favorite colors.
Either that or you're colorblind, and it's actually like green, yellow. I suppose that it would actually be a pretty good place for them to be green and yellow.
Yeah, it actually does. That's very fitting. There you go. You've done it. You've cracked the code. Yeah, so we're just going to wait to see what the decision is here. Of course, for those of you who are just joining us, you missed a pretty big stomping from SK over on Inferno. It was 16-6 in their favor. In this elimination best of 3, the loser goes home. And for SK, they want the chance to play in front of the home crowd. The last event that we saw out here in Brazil was, of course, the ESL Pro League Finals Season 4, and they were able to come second there. They lost in the Grand Finals to Cloud9. Tom, do you remember that one? That was a fun event, and I think, you know, they want to reclaim their chance. They want to have another shot, but this time to win on home soil. There aren't that many events down here in Brazil, sadly. I think there should be. They're great.
Yeah, I think it's actually quite interesting as well that we've got like multiple teams here. That obviously you've got them, you've got NTC, you've also got obviously Taco and Liquid. There's a lot of teams that the Brazilians really can get behind. And obviously, I think Taco's definitely one of the sort of fan favorites. Like, out of all that, we've seen like people outside the sort of hotel, also seen him going out and just relishing the opportunity to meet all of the fans. He is a lovely guy. So
he is. That's the thing. I love Taco for that reason. Like he's really nice. Like he's such like a nice dude, but then also he's like not afraid to be honest and pretty savage. Like he's I swear since he joined Liquid, he's like even more savage than ever. He'll just like go up and say, like, you know, talk some trash, and it's like, yeah, go on, mate. You know, like that
the JW thing was that was brutal.
Oh, he did, man. No, like he's funny, and I like it. You know, like that's a very good point. That there's so many teams for them to get behind. Did you see as well, Taco just surpassed fallen as the highest earning Brazilian player.
Is that true?
That's interesting.
But they have been doing very, very well recently, like Liquid. So it's definitely going to be it's going to be interesting to see if they could actually be. I would say that if anything, I would say they're the favorites for this tournament.
What, Team Liquid?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely get behind that. I mean, I've been saying for a while, I think that they are probably the ones that, I think they're one of the only teams that could really contend with Astralis. I've been saying that since, you know, seeing them in like Dallas, for example. I was one of the people there who said I thought they could do. Is this going to be like hipster Harry?
Yeah,
like, you know,
I was saying it before it was cool.
I was the fan before it was cool, and you know, I just want to put it out here. Jason, Mr. Captain North America. You
could have just said Captain America, and that would have been so much better.
Yeah, it would have been. But, you know,
Captain North America.
He actually doubted me originally when I predicted Liquid to do it, and now suddenly he's all aboard the Liquid train.
He also doubts.
Guys, só pra avisar, ó, acabou de chegar a atualização na Steam do novo chat, tá? Pra quem tem um beta lá, novidades, beta do cliente. Eu acho que vai ser pra todo mundo agora da Steam. Acabou de aparecer aqui pra me reiniciar minha Steam. Então dá uma olhada de vocês aí, reinicia a Steam de vocês. Vai ser pra todo mundo agora.
All the bald ones ganging up on me. That's fine.
Pandering.
Pandering? Is this the WWF? With all the pandering going on? They are the ones that protect pandas, right? Because I always said WWE, but that's just wrestling. That'd be great. They'd release some pandas into WWE. Then they'd win. Finally, we see nature, you know, overthrowing mankind.
But yeah, looking like we're still, I think it was network issue. We're still looking to have all of that resolved. So I think they said the network's back up. It looks like everybody's playing with their mice again, which is always good. But yeah, no, I think this is definitely going to be an interesting tournament, and especially like FaZe have come out and said that they want to win this tournament. But well, I think they'll be disappointed more so if they don't. But I definitely think it's going to be sort of interesting to see how they play with a stand-in. Obviously, you can talk about the idea that Liquid are one of the only sort of better teams here that also have their full roster actually playing. So obviously, Mousesports, I think they would have been up there, but obviously they've got nothing standing in. They looked decent earlier in the day. Well, I feel very low down.
Very short, right? That's what I was just thinking.
Just like
I figured we should be. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah. And, you kind of feel bad with the whole FaZe thing going on. You know, we haven't seen Olaf play there. It's like, oh, Olaf's back, and it's like, no. Just kidding.
Well, the other thing as well with that is, it was
I can't wait till he is.
They had like Exist, and it was like, oh, that's looking pretty good. And they're like, okay, Olaf's back, and then Exist joins another team, and then they're like, okay, he's not back, which obviously all the time for Olaf he needs with all the stuff that's going on. But it's sort of just, you look at Exist now, who just, well, he was obviously doing very, very well in that team. I think Croman's actually a very, very good pickup for them. Like, as a sort of stand-in player, I think he's been doing sort of excellently well. And even when he was playing in like No-Reg, the Norwegian team, he was a standout player in that one every single time. So I'm interested to see how he does in, like, obviously in a big scenario on the big stage as well, because a hell of a lot of pressure coming up there, especially with the team that has out and out said that they want to win this tournament. If you're sort of the man that is a little bit further behind or not quite in with all of the strategy and stuff that they have, that's a hell of a lot of pressure. And then, well, you're sort of looking at other teams. Okay, Liquid, as said, for me, the reason they're the favorite is because they have their full roster. Again, though, none of the teams that they're going to be coming up against are going to want to let this go. Like, you talk about SK and TC, sort of home teams as well, wanting to try and bring this one through. You've got FaZe, and Mousesports, even with their sort of stand-ins, have a ridiculous amount of firepower. And Mousesports especially, the guy they brought in, has got a ridiculous amount of experience under his belt.
So here's what I'm thinking, Tom. You know, here's my bold prediction for this event. Keep your eye out for Big. I think they're gonna be a real surprise. I genuinely do. You know, they got Smooya in there now, the UK hope. It's weird seeing a British player at one of these events, but you know, why not? You know, and they impressed me. I don't know if you caught much of that game versus Liquid, but they managed to have two very, very close maps. It was a 16-14 on Cash, I believe, and they were like 14-9 up at one point in time. And then also it was a 16-11. I can't remember the second map, but you know, it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, they're going to be playing versus NTC tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
I've always been a big fan. I'll be honest with you, Tom. You know, whenever I see God B, he always gives me a little smile. He's a very nice guy as well, and I think he's a very, very smart in-game leader. Now you bring in Smooya, and it's like, with the reshuffling they've done in the team, I think, you know, the pressure isn't so much on Tabson to just be like, you have to kill everyone.
Yeah. Well, you could say that about Smooya as well. In like a lot of the past teams that he's had, it's like, yeah, just kill everyone. And it looks like, so far at least, it has been going pretty well. I think, as said, we talk about Liquid being one of the favorites, and they definitely put up a very good fight versus them. Now they go up against NTC, which is still just a team that I have absolutely no idea what to expect from them, because it's a team that obviously has had so many sort of roster changes before they even really got going. They definitely seem like they have a sort of lot of firepower in the mix from like previous teams. They talk about Phelps obviously being in there, who was meant to be the sort of star being brought into SK, but never really seemed to work out. But I think if you have him as more of a loose cannon, that could definitely be interesting. The fact is, though, in terms of like structure and, well, just the way the team is built, you think the Big should take that one. But in all honesty, I think it should be a very, very good game tomorrow.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm excited to see NTC play, because I think, you have a combination of a lot of players with, with a lot of potential, a lot of ones who are kind of on the rise, and then a lot of people who are even kind of at the, the top tier Brazilian CS for a while and then fell off. So it's going to be exciting to see how they play. I am very much looking forward to that game. But that's going on tomorrow. Focusing on the game at hand, I believe we just got told that TeamSpeaks are back and everything is ready to go. We're all good. We had our best guys working on it. Tom was working overtime along with the rest of the production crew to get that all sorted.
That's actually why I was so low down. I was having to actually go under the desk and look to fix all of the problems.
And yeah, we're almost back into this one now, 1-1. For those of you who are just joining us, you missed a stomping over on the first game. That was, of course, on Inferno, 16-6. That ended in favor of SK. And now this is their map pick, Dust 2, currently 1-1, with Ghost Gaming winning the pistol round. SK Gaming then winning their Force Buy in round number 2. So now this is the time for Ghost Gaming to elect to go for a force and try and answer back in round number 3.
Yeah, I sort of, in a way, I do feel a little bit bad for them, because in the way that round was going, obviously the clock was ticking, it was getting fairly low, and now SK can go into this one. Like, I highly doubt it's going to be, well, I hope it's not one of those scenarios where they like, let's replay the round as it was played before, because I always thought that was a mental idea.
I think that happened once, Tom.
I know, but
I know exactly the event that happened at, and it was really weird. It was really jarring
Did you cast it again?
They replayed it twice from the same, but they did it the first time, and then they were like, no, we weren't happy with that one. We want to do it one more time, and everyone agreed. I was like, oh, what's happening? What's happening here? But that was interesting. No,
he was a millimeter to the left.
I imagine. So. Well, like, that's the issue with doing that, though, right? That's always going to be on your mind. Like,
it's impossible to replay.
Yeah, it is, 100%. So I imagine we're just going to go once again. Both teams would have had to come to an agreement there, because it was a curious one, right? There was no clear winner, so just going to replay it. But like I say, I don't feel qualified enough to dispel the way that the admins came to this decision. Let's see.
Oh yeah, I think they're just making sure that all of the network issues are done before we actually continue into this one. Obviously, want to make sure that we're not going to have any more problems, because, as said, it's a bane of any sort of tournament's life. I feel like so early in the game as well, it can be something that sort of sets you off on either a path to redemption or just being absolutely slaughtered again. If you're sort of Ghost Gaming off the previous map, you're going to want to have a resurgence here. I do think, I sort of agree with what Sponge was saying, that this is, if there's any map where just one of your players can just go off the chains, this definitely seems to be the one. Like, always in the past, you've seen like crazy performances, especially with sort of looking at that T side. If you're just going off, if you're just hitting your shots, sometimes even just spawns can help you to the point where you're just finding those opening picks.
Yeah, that's one of the things about Dust 2 that's so interesting, is that it's, one of really the only like spawn-based maps out there that still exists in the pool, where you play on the back of a good spawn like that, so often. Because
Mirage as well can do it.
Yeah, like Mirage you can, because you can have a good mid spawn or a good ramp spawn, for example, over on the T side. But I still think, like Dust 2 is the most pure form of that. It's like, right now you can see SK have a lot of players over towards that B bomb. Slight Temptation's probably just going to be there to go running in towards B, because you have Fallen, who has physically, I think, one of the best spawns I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's the other thing about like replaying around on this map.
Yeah,
that can genuinely happen, where it's just like, oh, well, this time we have a B spawn. Let's just go B. Oh God, B.
There we go. That was a big joke.
Oh God, I really like. I want to cast big because I like the team. I don't want to cast them with you, because I know it's going to be one of the most irritating things ever.
You'll never know what happens next.
That was just trash.
Yeah, dude, I know. Yeah, I'm trying my hardest, Tom. I forgot my joke cards, my pre-written lines.
No, obviously I spend hours and hours doing that. I don't do any research. I just sit there writing jokes all day.
I don't even not believe you. That's the thing. Because you just have so many to hand. It's like you sit there. I was going to say you sit in the shower and read your notes.
This is Wardell's first international event ever. Ooh, I like these little stats.
I do. You know, we have.
Because then I can learn myself.
I think it's Fish that does those. Doing a good job. Shout out to him. But here's the round underway. Kusta gonna get tagged up early on. He's gonna have to go ahead and stick around in mid to help out Wardell. He's just taking all the damage right now. Tagged down at 10 HP. That's by a nade. I think they headed on through those mid doors. Bolts up here on short. He was the hero in the round prior. It's been a little while since that round happened, but it was him with 4 kills, I believe, in that one round. And he was also the top fragger over on Inferno, so he's been feeling it today. And that's because their life in this tournament is on the line. 4 players for Ghost over towards that A-bomb site. SK going to start to gravitate over here to B. All the pressure falls to Sabrosa if they do decide to head this way. He stands here alone, armed with only a UMP and his wits.
Yeah, absolutely no utility either to try and slow them down. If he goes too aggressive here, Fur is just waiting on the angle. It is looking like they're setting up for that split as well, with a lot of players lurking around that mid position. And Sabrosa is going to go aggressive, but he does actually manage to take the frag, which means that this is no longer really a split, especially if the bomb goes down. But Stewie will rectify that. Slowly, the T side do take control, but there's a rifle in the hands of Steel at least, and it does give them a chance, especially with Fallen actually peeking out and giving him away back into this round. So does Cold as well, and now somehow this is left all onto Stewie, looking to try and just fake out that plant, but Steel just ruins them. 4 kills straight back. Ghost Gaming on the board once again, and SK, well, they look like they flustered that.
Yeah, you felt like everything was going to go their way, but it all falls short at the final hurdle. So now they're going to go for a force once again. These force by wars not uncommon on the realms of Dust 2. Still not able to find anything down through mid. SK wants to play now. Gonna try and turn their attention over here towards long. No one really had a fantastic spawn for it. Fur leading the charge with the Deegan through mid. Ghost neglecting to go peeking on out. And Poyo holding close to the double doors here. Might be about to go toe-to-toe with Bolts as he aggresses forward. Still going to miss that first shot. Going to keep creeping forward. And here's afforded a second shot. Neither of the scouters really connecting much. Finally, it's Wardell to get tagged down, but doesn't transpire much for the time being.
This round, obviously, for a Ghost at least, it is the safest buy we've seen so far. They managed to retrieve themselves a couple of AKs in the previous, so you have to hope for their sake that SK are not going to be able to get themselves back into this round. And, well, just even in terms of utility, things are looking pretty difficult now. They are going to try and take some control towards long, more interestingly, but it's actually just more of a boost. Get Fur in position up above. He can look to see if there is anybody aggressing around the smoke. Still 3 players over towards that A site, and even a little bit of damage being done now by the further utility that they have. However, Stewie does manage to actually find one on towards the site. He's got to watch out because Wardell's there, but he gets the second as well. Stewie just completely opens up this round. Now it's left on to Poyo, but he sprays down 2. Gives them some hope. However, Stewie is still standing now with a rifle in hand. Doesn't have himself any armor behind it, but Kusta's got to be very careful. Actually going for this peek into long. He's left completely blind. Stewie now finds another one, and Cold is there to close it. Somehow SK now turn things back, even though that one was actually 4 rifles in play for Ghost.
Yep, this is madness. As we head in to round number 5, it's going to be Ghost Gaming now to go in with the force buy, you would imagine. They will be doing it just that. UMP out for Sabrosa. This time, though, SK going to have 3 rifles. The scout out on Fallen. Aggression out here towards long. Wardell gets caught. The flash is perfect. That's going to be him falling. And SK looking to finally be a team to convert one of these rounds and pick up 2 in a row. Of course, when they do, the economy for Ghost will be broken. And they have Fuico in the next. Let's say when they do. Could be an if they do. coldzera attack down over here towards lower tunnels. Going to get put to 9 HP. Fur aggressing through long. Does have Stewie to help him out. SK aren't looking too set on this A-bomb site anymore, though. Playing with the idea perhaps of hitting B, but that bomb now going to start to head towards this A-bomb site. Poyo could throw a real spanner in the works as he emerges late toward the top of mid. No one kept an eye on it, and coldzera peeking down through mid has no idea that this man's here. Poyo could do so much damage from this position. The timing is to be there for him. He spotted out Fallen, but he hasn't fired yet. Poyo goes running in, drops him. That's the bomb down. Bolt's going to reclaim one and the second, and those are big kills to find. Suddenly it is just Kusta as the first frag, but Bolt's once again the man of the hour. Is able to stay on top of things. SK, they find their third round, and they're the first team to win 2 in a row as well. So now Ghost just have to take the eco.
Yeah, well, a couple of close ones for them. So the T side are actually going to invest more into SMGs. I think this is the point where they know, however, that they've won themselves the Force by Wars. They'll get a decent amount of cash off the back of this. CT side really shouldn't be investing anything into this. And even going forward, getting an AWP is not going to be easy for them, which on the other side, isn't this some sort of technical one? I don't know.
We'll find out, won't we, Tom Biz?
Well, actually, no, it looks like Steel's talking away.
Yeah,
so.
it is a tactical pause called on in for Ghost Gaming.
Quite an early one, actually. I always like to see these sort of early pauses called in, especially if they've spotted something out to do with like what's going on very early in this game, or maybe they just have some sort of edgy pistol round that they want to throw in, because there's not going to be much in this round whatsoever. Either that, or they're just talking over sort of what's going to be coming up into their initial buy round. But the fact is, yeah, we're not really expecting anything to be invested by that CT side. It is just going to be a few pistols, maybe something small to try and do some damage. But the fact is, this is SK's chance to just build up a large amount of cash. And the fact is, that was one of the things that really made even just the start of that game a little bit more interesting in the first map, was the fact that Ghost was able to just run away with the sort of pistol and follow-up rounds. After that, they lost a huge amount of rounds in a row. I think, was it 9? So the fact is, now that SK have even got off to that early start, winning the Force by Wars, this could get very dicey for Ghost indeed.
Well, only time will tell. Ooh. I've spotted out Kusta down here in CT. They do have a smoke for it. Instead, they're going to burn him out. They're going to try and find this first frag. Kusta running back into the warm embrace of his teammates. Sadly, they're going to lose Sabrosa down in lower tunnels. Fur gets spotted out over on shore. Getting a bit worried there for a second, but now they've dealt with Kusta, there should just be a mop-up in this round. So much damage done on the rest of the guys, and Fur's going to find all 3 at the very end. So a quick hat-trick for him. And Tom, we spoke a lot about spawns. If you look on the map right now, you can see that is a B spawn if I've ever seen one. But this being the first into the rifles, I'm curious if they're going to play much off the back of that. There are a few players looking that way, so maybe they're going to try and catch the timing. You have the AWP on Fallen. And he's got a perfect mid-spawn as well to watch for the cross. That does look to be the case. They're going to send all 4 players over here towards B. Kusta and Sabrosa took their time on the cross because of that AWPing presence on the back of Fallen. The nades do rain in. Fur's going to open up. The molly's done damage. A real Brazilian barbecue down in the B bomb site. But no, Kusta answers back. 4 on 4. They have managed to get across, and that bomb now looks to go down. Kusta, the lone guardian of this B bomb site. So much nade damage done. But 4v4, are they going to try and go for this one?
Again, aggression out from SK to try and take the fights in towards middle, but now they've got the man advantage, and this site is one of, if not the most difficult site to retake. It's just horrible, especially with the amount of smokes that have been thrown as well by SK. And whoa, oh, coldzera, he just doesn't even care. Straight through, takes 2 kills. That was meant to be the save for Ghost Gaming. They're like, okay, now we we abandon the round. We know that we're not winning it. Let's just keep what we got. And Cold Zero just, nah, not happening. Takes down 2. It is going to be a 5-2 scoreline already for SK. And yeah, Wardell, all he can really hope to do here is just hold on to that AWP and bring something into the next round.
Still that 1 up on Wardell. You're putting a lot of pressure onto one man. Going to be looking at him to be the catalyst for success for Ghost in this round. He's going to be boosted up on short with the AWP. Looks like he's going to try and take the early peek down into mid. Going to get there very, very quickly on the back of this boost. Kusta goes running up even with the CZ. Fires holding the angle. He hears the footsteps, but CZ wins the fight. Contato reclaims that man advantage down here towards lower tunnels. Going to get caught out by Poyo. That AWP gets juggled onto him, but still, man advantage in favor of Ghost. Bolts gets caught looking the wrong way, and now Sabrosa trying to make a stand with the Deeg. Tags up Stewie, 1 HP. Still alive, and it's Fallen and Stewie have to try and regain control of this round, a round that never should have been for Ghost.
There's been a few rounds like this where it's been way too close for comfort. Kusta is actually just going to go barreling into the side, but Stewie will save his teammate, and now Poyo, he sort of has that decision to make of whether this is actually worth going for. Now, Wardell does actually have enough. I believe they'll be able to afford an AWP into the next round anyway. And yeah, he will. They've got max loss bonus, so no problems there. The fact is, though, retaking the site with an AWP and no kit, I don't like his chances. So I think he's just going to look to try and save that, maybe take somebody on the exit. That would be ideal. But all in all, that's not a bad round from Ghost Gaming. I think just because they managed to get it into such a sort of close scenario, we were maybe looking at it as one they probably should have taken. But even still, taking down 3 players, making sure SK don't build up a ludicrous amount of cash, although they have still got quite a big bank. And yeah, Stewie's actually going to survive on just 1 HP. That's always going to be one of those ones where you watch back and you go, ah, I just tickled him a little bit and he would have gone down.
Yeah, one thing that is going to bode well as well for SK is doing a very, very quiet game on Inferno, and that still looked like a walk in the park for them. Right now, he's up 11-5, top of the board here on Dust 2.
Yeah, and Fallen's yet to like kick off, so well.
One thing that I find funny, Stewie doing well on this map, yet he literally lost this to Sponge in the caches, right? So, you know, that's always a good meme. But Stewie leading the charge out through long. And it's a slow round here from SK. They've taken control, and having a man in pit is so strong, so versatile, and it's going to force them to try and flush him out. He actually just leaves it.
I feel like you might be a bit bitter that you were replaced.
What makes you say that, Tom?
Sorry, well, I even lost it, didn't I?
Sponge is one of the greatest CS players of all time.
Well, unfortunately, the B site, Sub-Rosa, was alone. And every single member, other than Stewie, has now just taken complete control of this B site. We've already mentioned the fact that this site is very, very difficult to retake. And did Cold Zero spot anything there? I don't think he did, but he's just going to look to try and hold on. He does actually go down. It's given an opportunity here. Stewie will fall as well, so it is back to a 3 versus 3. But again, are they going to find any way back into this one? They don't know that Fur's already aggressive, pushed forward. Now, they may expect this because SK really have been trying to take the fights so often, but no, still, well, Fur tries to wait, but eventually will have to take the shot. Wardell also going to miss with the AWP, and 1 by 1, they are just going to look to fall. It's all onto Poyo, 1 versus 2, no HP left, and he is just going to have to run for the hills. So it is going to be a 7th round on the board already for SK Gaming. Now, what we saw in the match earlier was that Ghost did actually manage to put up some rounds on that CT side. So far, that's not looking so good.
It really isn't, is it, Tom? Of course, we had that back and forth early on where Ghost win the pistol, then they lose their anti-eco round, then they force buy, they win that, and then they lose. And since then, every single round has been the way of SK. The one thing that's going to be really tricky for Ghost to contend with is that loss to play in front of the home crowd. This, of course, being an elimination game, the loser does go home, and SK, you don't imagine they've traveled back just to lose on day 1. Trades over a long, go back and forth, and we're left into a 4-on-4. Bolt's going to be leading the charge out over here in mid, does have Fallen to back him up. And We mentioned how Bolts has been putting up numbers today. Hasn't done all too much since that second round where he got 4 frags, but now going to be given another chance here to pad those stats as he inches out in mid with Fallen. Not going to find anything just yet. Minute and 5 seconds left on the clock. SK still with plenty of time, but it's going to start to put some pressure on them. They are going to leave mid. Now the question becomes for SK, where do they decide to go? And once again, Steele pissed around. He did this. He aggressed too long, and it almost won them the round, Tom. Actually did win them the round, rather. Will he do it again?
I think he's playing a bit more patient this time, and Cold is just looking, see if there is any aggression here. If he pushes out, he may lose his head. But the fact is, even just waiting in this aggressive spot could leave this. The problem is, look at the actual A site. There's no one there. The fact is, SK can literally just walk straight onto A. The CT side have gone for a little bit more of a gamble, more of a retake strategy over towards A. The one interesting thing, though, is that Kusta could actually come up behind this T side just as they make their way onto the site. But with 15 seconds left, it is going to be that A plant. CTs have a lot of good positions. The fact is, there is still Cold lurking in the backlines already, though. They are going to take down Stewie. Fallen set up in that sort of classic AWP defensive position. Steele does have himself a Molotov, but he's over towards Long, so that's not ideal. And will he expect that sort of late flank coming in from Cold Zero? The answer is no, and that already leaves it back down to this 2 versus 2. Nade onto the site will do further damage, but they're actually just going to go straight for the defusal. Actually, they may just be able to get this one. Going for it, and Sub Rosa wins the round. He takes it down. Yes, they lose every single player, so it's going to be very costly going into the next, but the sneak defusal in the smoke is enough to win it for them.
But Tom, you hit the nail on the head, right? It's a pretty bittersweet victory. You get the round, but now looking into this one, you've got very little purchasing power. You've got the M4 on Poyo and Sabrosa, Famasis for the other. They have a decent bit of utility thanks to taking the hit in terms of the firepower on Steele and Kusta. Wardell is relegated down to a scout, though. I believe that was Stewie who had the spawn for mid. Now he throws the AWP back to Fallen. Steele and Poyo toying once again with the idea of going aggressive in through long. We've seen them try this a couple of times now in these rounds. Bit of a fight going on over here towards B, but it doesn't lead to much. Some damage done to Sabrosa, some onto Stewie. They're going to leave B, now opting to head up through short. They're going to go toe-to-toe with Wardell, who's the only man inside of this A-bomb site right now. With just a scout to his name, it's going to be a tricky task, but he does have a smoke and an incendiary to try and keep them out of short for the time being.
Of course, T-side, they have a bank to play behind, so all the pressure here is on Ghost. They're just going to be expending a lot of their utility. Still got a couple of smokes and some flashbangs, but other than that, not much else. And Kusta already over towards that B site. It's going to be going down, and by the looks of things, they're going to try and split onto this. Fallen with the pistol just removes the head of Sub Rosa. And while we wondered if Fallen would sort of wake up to the table in this map, with that AWP, he's found both entries. This round is done. They have no choice but to save.
Yeah, a little pistol whip there from Fallen.
Who needs a CZ?
Exactly, PT50, it's all about it. 2018. Bolt's creeping through long, he's not going to check this. It's a frag for Steele at least, AK retrieved. Fallen's still hounding them down. You know, the impact of taking these guns away and everyone down in pit. It's a tricky angle to take the fight from, and no one knows it better than Fur and Stewie as they get beheaded by Poyo. Oh, Waddell, he wanted to go grab one of those AKs, but instead they lose everyone down in the pit. Steele does manage to save the AK, but it's one rifle amidst a sea of USPs and P2000s. Now the question becomes, do you take the force here? I think you have to. You can't really get a buy into the next round. Tactical pause called in for Ghost Gaming. That's a pretty gut-wrenching situation to be in, really. I mean, if they'd saved 1 or 2 more rifles, you can have a much stronger buy looking into this one. You could have had, you know, Steele drop maybe a scout over to Wardell, because he's been very proficient with that. And
think could have got that anyway, but he bought a smoke.
He could have, Tom.
But yeah, no, the buy definitely would have been a lot better if they had managed to save those weapons, but unfortunately Cold Zero didn't like that idea.
No, he didn't, did he? No,
that second shot, like, Wardell was just trying to get himself a weapon. Like, it ended up being the bane of his life, but the second shot that he hits on Poyo is just filth. Like, the pixel angle to hit the headshot there. Obviously, this is another talk through for Ghost Gaming. But the fact is, this is already such a difficult position. It was hard enough after they were sort of losing rounds in a row, but now that they've also been reset in terms of economy from the one victory, it's one of those sort of worst case scenarios here. They've got to try and take the force, and they're going to go for something very aggro indeed, pushing into middle. The problem is, Fallen has already spotted it. Stewie is just going to be sat waiting for this push, and one by one, they're just being picked off. They should have no chance in this scenario, and yeah, great setup in the end from SK. Fallen spots all the information. They've also taken the B site in the meantime, and this force buy has been ruined.
It most certainly has. It's been picked apart. And Ghost Gaming have been hung out to dry. Just Poyo left alive. Still easy, we're going to go out and find him at the very end. As him and Fallen between them secure a 9th round for SK. These guys showing their determination to show up here on home soil. One thing I do love as well is, you know, the warm welcome for Stewie from the Brazilian fans here, you know. He's part of the big old family that is SK now, very much so. You could tell he gets a lot of love from these guys. But yeah, this round just going to be USPs across the board for Ghost. This should be a write-off, Tom. There should be no chance for them in this round. SK know it.
I'm actually just going to go for quite a bit of a stack in middle. And considering there's been quite a lot of aggression there from Fallen trying to take the peaks, I quite like this idea. Got a couple of flashbangs as well. But the problem is bolts. He's at least spotted one. And yeah, this should just be the mow down. Quick, easy round, more money built up. You can see the cash. Fallen with 16k for 13,600. Cold Zero, 14,750. They're set to the end of the half. Obviously only a couple of rounds left. But the fact is, I think that Ghost at least need to try and get themselves to the last couple of rounds. Otherwise, this is just going to be another decimation. It could be the fact that if they lose the pistol, they lose the game again, which is not something you want to see. We at least want to get them to have a chance on the T side.
Well, yeah, we would like that, but I don't know if that's going to become a reality, Tom. Let's see. You know, maybe Ghost Gaming could surprise us and chain together a couple of rounds at the very end. They're not out of this one just yet, but time is fleeting. And well, Cold Zero lies in wait down in the lower tunnels. They've got 3 players down here amid. Kusta's going to try and push forward, and Cold does just miss the timing. Going to go back for it the second time around. Meanwhile, Stewie aggressing down through long. So many players for him to find, and it's Wardell to take the first bullet. Steel does come in with the trade. Kusta finally going to come pouncing on out from the lower tunnels. This is surely where the trade comes through, and he goes down. He's in such an awkward spot to fight from, and Fallen's going to find him. And Fallen left alive, 2 versus 3. Damage inflicted onto Steel earlier on, but they lose Fallen over here at long. Now leaving Fur in the hot seat.
He's got himself the bomb. It should get himself a 1v1 duel versus Sub Rosa as well. He's going to be pushing in towards this B site, although it doesn't actually take the cross. And this angle's pretty powerful just for anybody trying to actually get that bomb down. It's going to be very, very difficult. Fur does have a smoke. Pete comes in, and well, Sub Rosa catches him on the timing. 10-4, another round on the board for Ghost Gaming, as they will at least get one towards the end. As we've already said, there's so much money. And how many AWPs, Harry? How many AWPs do you go for in this scenario? There's already 3,
yeah,
4.
Just go with the 4.
Come on, Bolts. Oh, he's gone for auto.
He's got the auto.
Oh, no, wait.
Oh, there's a couple of autos. Look at this. This is nice.
This is filled. They've just been... Okay. So who's crossing mid? Who's doing it?
If no one dies, I'll eat my hat. Here we go. Actually, I won't do that. Never mind.
Have a hat,
Vince,
so.
Yeah, exactly. There's no hat. I don't own one. And never mind. Thank God. Fallen and Fur both bailed me out. Whew, I was worried. I almost did a Vince. I wouldn't never... I'd probably eat a hat if I promised I would. But here we go. Ooh, Kusta's going to manage that frag, and actually Sabrosa even deletes bolts from the equation, so now suddenly it's a 3-on-3. Thankfully, Poyo gets overzealous at long, and he's given this round up potentially, as now that a bomb site comes crumbling down. You still have Cold Zero lurking in the back line. This feels like it should be impossible for Kusta and Sabrosa.
Yeah, especially with that plant. That's the filthy plant. That's the one that you do just to sort of end around up on the top of the boxes. Any sort of defusal here should be impossible without just destroying Fur as they attempt to cross. Although he is going to be caught with a nade in hand. That does mean the Stewie goes down. However, he's very quickly going to be able to trade, and they still have absolutely no idea where coldzera is. He's just lurking in those back lines. It won't matter. Fur with the quad, we don't see him too often, but he is going to get 4 in that round, and SK are going to comfortably win the half, 11-4. Now this second pistol becomes, again, crucial for Ghost, as they are going to want to kick off their T-side at least with some sort of weaponry. And yeah, I feel like the sort of highlight reel for them is going to be pretty short. We see the sort of kill for Poyo managing to win themselves the pistol. But again, it comes down to sort of after the backwards and forwards rounds at the beginning, SK just run away with it. They just do exactly what they needed to do.
Yeah, they're very much in the driver's seat now. 1-0 up in the series already after a crushing victory over on Inferno. Now in their map pick, a Dust 2, an 11-4 first half from SK. They do not want to go home. They want to be on that stage in front of the home crowd. And there's something, as I keep saying, last time they were here in Brazil, they only managed to come second. They would love to turn it around and find a victory.
Only.
Yeah, but I mean, I think for the SK squad, especially, you know, back then, it's like, you know, only second was... Ooh, frags going left and right. Stewie still alive, tucked away. Does have Fallen to help him out. Okay, they give those frags up. Sabrosa's found a quick double, and now it's Sabrosa and Wardell in a 2 versus 2. This flank round from Bolts could be crucial. Sabrosa's going to go checking for it. Spots them. Exchange goes left and right. coldzera flanking in from mid. It's the two-pronged approach. They're going to try and take the fight with coldzera. That's not a fight you want to be taken anytime soon, as he beheads them both. Sabrosa and Wardell both go down, and that will be the round going the way of SK. They find the second pistol. That's going to be a 12-4 lead, and now with a chance to expand on that even more in the anti-eco.
I actually quite like the stack towards the B site. Like, it's so difficult to retake that site anyway, so just send a few extra players over there. Retaking A, definitely not so difficult, especially when you're the ones with the USPs. Like, the sort of Glock from Pit is not really something that you look to too often. So, yeah, I like that they've stacked the B site. Obviously, now going into the buy rounds, we're going to have Poyo actually given an AK. So he's going to have that hero rifle. Wardell with the scout as well. So they are going to go for the full investment into this one. And, well, clearly Ghost feeling that they need to get on this board sooner rather than later. The problem is they lose this one. Likely it is. It's 14-4 before they actually manage to get themselves another buy. And, yeah, I feel like that is way too far gone. Kusta tries to find the opener. It's actually instead Bolts on the other side of the map. And Stewie, feeling confident, is going to go running all the way forward and jumping through, manages to get himself the kill. A 2-man advantage already for SK Gaming, and this force fight is not going too well.
It most certainly is not. Steal now with that one rifle. Wardell going to try and work some magic with the scout. He has had a very, very quiet game, especially with how talked about he is as a, you know, one of the potential big players up and coming within NA. Steele going to be aggressing over here, over towards this B-bomb site. There is Stewie lying in wait. Fur as well. Just a moment away, just one call from Stewie and he will be there to reinforce his hold. For Ghost Gaming, this is really a last-ditch attempt to hold on here on Dust 2, and that Molotov, that is devastating. That's going to delay this push even more. Time starts to become a real problem for them now. On silver lining, these rotations are going to take a very long time to come through from the rest of SK. If Stewie does fall short, he's going to drop down, and he only manages one. Steele's going to help him out. Fur's left to try and get a leash back on the beast all on his own, and he's going to manage both frags. So SK able to regain their composure in that round. They find a 13th, and now there's no money for Ghost.
Did Fur just pick up a scout at the end of that? I think by mistake. And so he went for the AK and somehow clicked like underneath, and I think he ended up somehow picking up a scout, which that's just going to be infuriating. I think he's given that over and then bought up another rifle. But yeah, 13-4. Next to nothing invested into this one. The hope and a prayer for Ghost is that they can get a bomb down and at least make themselves a little bit of extra cash along the way. do have quite a few flashbangs. They're just going to try and run straight on towards shore. But look at the nade damage already. Again, a nade that does around that 200 damage marker. We'll manage to see a trade back. And actually, they are going to go running on towards this A site. There is a chance for a bomb, but they've got to get rid of bolts first. And it's just not going to happen, is it? It's left all onto Steel, Glock, and nothing else. And Fer, even while blind, will find himself the kill. It is going to be 14-4. 2 rounds needed for SK to close this out. And while even with sort of saving a little bit of cash, if there is an AWP, it's only going to be glass cannon. They've got themselves Galeals on a couple of players instead of AKs. And the fact is, well, sort of hoping Wardell would be one of the players to sort of show up with this AWP. 5 and 16 at the moment, definitely not having this sort of explosive performance I think they would have needed to drag this one home. Here we go, though. Maybe the only buy we will see from Ghost, and it's not started well.
No, that is not the start you want. Stewie opening up with the AWP. This is one of the advantages of having SK on this map as well. So many of these guys can pick up the AWP and use it proficiently. That advantage commandeered early on by SK. Looking to try and swiftly dodge elimination here. Damage done on a Poyo. So now for Ghost Gaming, what is the call? Wardell doesn't have armor. They've got 5 flashbangs, 3 smokes, and a Molotov. That's all they have to work with, and they've been cornered in over here towards long. They have very little map control right now. Everything seems to be working against him, and they're going to try and tempt the scout on Fool, and he does manage that first kill. Has to back away as he loses bolts in the engagement, and Wardell's going to go ahead and get rid of him. Keep on pressing forward. coldzera is there. He's going to tuck himself away on the car first, flanked up through mid, so they know that these rotations can't come back towards B. That's why Stewie's now come rotating in as well.
Ooh. Oh, he's dead. Surely, yeah, he's actually going to burn down. So it's going to be the trade back. 25 seconds left on the clock, and they've still got to worry about this cross. Stewie actually going to be going back in towards that mid position. Flank even coming in. He's going to try and hold onto the cross with that AWP, and the fact is there's no smoke. This is going to be very difficult. They need to get this bomb across, and they've already failed. That peak will come out, but Stewie hits both. 15-4. Map and series point. An elimination almost definitely on the cards for Ghost Gaming here.
Yeah, unless they can manage 11 rounds in a row to pull this through to overtime, and even then you have to win it out and then get through to trading. It doesn't feel very likely, does it, Tom? SK, they've showed up in spades. They do not want to have their journey here come to an end just yet. The force buy for Ghost is probably not what they dreamed of. 2 UMPs, scout on Wardell. He wasn't able to spot anyone on the cross either. He's going to tag up Poyo over at long, and that's the second time that's happened. The same 2 players going toe-to-toe. So Poyo is out of this round already. One thing to note, Ghost Gaming do have a lot of utility to play around with. But still yet to really gain control of anything meaningful on the map. Steel pushing up through short does at least open up this avenue for Ghost Gaming. Now the question becomes, what are they going to do with it?
And even still, they've got to try and clear Fallen from this car position. Always been a powerful one on Dust 2, and I don't think that's changed. I'm going to see the push coming out, trying to use a bit of that utility to at least clear things, and they may just try and actually waterfall down. You can still jump and try and sneak in towards that CT spot. Steel actually just going to be waiting, and it looks like they are going to try and split this through middle. coldzera more than aware of the potential here. The question is, will they just look to run him down? There's the timing shot, and already the first will be found. Through the smoke, actually, Wardell does manage to get one, but there's no split in. It's all coming through that window. Not going to hit the shot is Stewie, but Fer is there to back him up. He's just dodging and weaving, but another kill comes in actually with the Glock, and somehow we're into a 2v2.
It's Bolts and Fallen to try and close this out for SK. Sabrosa and Wardell to look to hold on. The bomb goes down. Flash comes through, and it's perfect. Bolts finds the first. It is just Wardell back against the wall, and Bolts going to double down. That's SK closing this out in a swift 2-0, 16-4 here on Dust 2, their map pick. Tom, what did you make of that one? That was
Bom, guys, valeu todo mundo que colou aí na live, no YouTube, na Twitch. Na Twitch vai continuar, tá? Quem quiser assistir na Twitch, vai lá. Vou mandar o link pra você do YouTube. Amanhã no YouTube, às 11 horas da manhã, tem NTC, tá? NTC às 11 da manhã. Vamos continuar a live no YouTube, na Twitch agora. Vamos jogar. Amanhã às 11 tem NTC e Big, tá? Mandar o link aqui no YouTube. Quem quiser colar na Twitch é só colar. Senão a gente se vê amanhã. Vou deixar a entrevista assim, às 11 da manhã, tá? Twitch vai seguir, YouTube fechou. Beleza? O jogo vai ficar salvo pra quem quiser rever o jogo.
We don't really hear a lot from the TriCast of Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Yes, no, that's you only get that on special occasions.
Yeah, I think we want to hear more from
Entrevista
Dick
só
this time.
sexta-feira, eu acho. Beleza? Eu vou abrir a live de novo na Twitch só dessa vez, beleza? Vamos jogar CS.
He's trying to mix it up a little
I've
bit.
got these sunglasses on to make it seem like more of a
He
summery
actually
vibe.
looks like he's on holiday.
Yeah.
É
He
nóis,
does. Maniac looks like he's about to go into like a